Welcome to NEAFL Eastern Conference Finals game today here at Kippax Oval between the Sydney Swans and the Belconnen Magpies, brought to you live through neafl.com.au. Joining me in the broadcast box today is none other than Sydney Football League commentator Drury Forbes. Welcome to the program, Drury.
Oh, thanks, Davo. Great to be here. Glorious day here in Canberra this afternoon here at Belconnen, and boy, haven't the crowd turned out this afternoon.
Absolutely. Capacity house here at and it's a great show of support for community-based football and community-based sport. Of course, we've had a couple of winners already here on the grand final day for them. It was the tricolours prevailing in the Rising Stars against the Queanbeyan Tigers, and they've just backed it up in the Division 1 AFL Canberra, beating the Belconnen Magpies. They've defeated them comfortably by 28 points. So a great day for the tricolours. Not there in the Eastern Conference main game. Of course, that's between Belconnen and Sydney. A couple of big ins this week, Drury, for the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of huge ins. Lewis Roberts-Thompson, he's one of the players appearing this afternoon for the Swans reserves, as is Brandon Jack. And they really headline a couple of others, including Gary Rohan. And there'll be plenty of Swans here this afternoon, Davo. If they do well enough, could be in contention for selection in the AFL on that trip to Fremantle next week. So certainly they've got plenty to play for.
Of course, Drury, and a couple of big names in the crowd. We've seen Adam Goods in the crowd, along with John Longmire himself, the senior coach of the Swans, CEO Andrew Ireland. So they've all come out to watch their NEAFL side go around the park today. Of course, they take the big trip west next week against Fremantle, and plenty of spots up for grabs after the injuries sustained last night, Drury.
Yes, certainly. You're absolutely right. I mean, not only did Kurt Tippett go down, but even in the midfield we saw young Tommy Mitchell, who's no stranger to the NEAFL. Unfortunately, looks like he's in a bit of trouble. So guys like Jed Lamb, even Brendan Jack, they'll be looking to have a big performance. They put themselves in contention. And speaking of Brendan Jack, the great Gary Jack also in the crowd this afternoon.
Absolutely. He's an avid supporter of his sons and an avid supporter of the Swans. Of course, Kieran Jack racked them up last night against Carlton there at ANZ Stadium. So it could be a memorable weekend for the Jack family. But of course, moving on to the Magpies, they've had a stunning week locally, Drury, with James Bennett being named the best player in the competition and being awarded the Mulrooney Medal.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to James Bennett winning the Mulrooney. As you said, Davo, he's had a fantastic season. And also a few Belconnen Magpies also named in the NEAFL Team of the Year, even the controversial selection of Cam Campbell. So, look, they're a proud club, Belconnen. They did have a little bit of a mishap, though, I understand, on Thursday at training with a late withdrawal in Damien Hector. But certainly Belconnen, look, they're up and about early. We watched them in the warm-up. They're still warming up as we speak, and you know, they'll be here to give it a good crack today.
Absolutely. Of course, the home ground advantage, Drury. What do you think it's worth today for the Magpies, considering they need to bridge the gap of 91 points since we commentated last time at Blacktown there? Are they good enough? Is it 30, 40 points here to play on the home ground? Yeah, well, the first time they met the SCG, it was 91 points. I think it was over 100 at Blacktown. Look, they were probably hoping for a few showers, Belconnen. It was raining on Friday night here in Canberra. We haven't, well, you know, you're the local here, Davo. But we haven't had any rain today, surprisingly. The forecast said it did rain, so that would have been an even greater leveller. Look, I'm going to say the home crowd advantage may be a 3-goal boost for Belconnen, but it really is all about the start for the Magpies. They need to come out, they need to really assert themselves physically, particularly on this young Swan side who probably won't want to partake in any aggressive marking off the ball, considering that they've had a horrendous injury run of late, the club. So certainly that's where Belconnen can capitalise today and just really I guess trying to intimidate the younger Swans players. Absolutely. Be remiss, as you said, not to mention the officiating umpires today. Of course, in the 29 is Nathan Ellsworthy. In the 34, an umpire of the year is Brent Pawley, and the other appointment in the field is number 30, Liam Rowe. Also, congratulations to the boundary umpires in Michael Baker, Tim Carton and Dan Field Reid. In the goals, waving the flags, Angus Mackenzie Wills, Rose O'Day, and the emergency is Adam Gardner. So well done to all the umpires on this big day today, and the men in green, or actually the men and women in green, always a particularly talking point on these sorts of days, Drury.
Absolutely, and I was going to say, Dave, hasn't Nathan Ellsworthy been in great form with the whistle this season?
Of course, Nathan is a rookie-listed AFL umpire, Nathan Ellsworthy, so congratulations to all them. But more importantly, your tip before we commence for Bouncetown, Drury.
Well, a few weeks ago when we were at Blacktown, I infamously said Belconnen, and once again, hello to all the Belconnen people watching this afternoon for the Supporters Club. I dare say most of them are probably here at the ground. I did say Belconnen last time. I'm going to stick with Belconnen this afternoon, Davo. I think, big boisterous home crowd. I think it could be close, but it's either going to be a close game or the Swans are going to blow them out of the water.
Yeah, for me, I think it's the Swans just proved their class. They've been haven't been defeated by a Canberra side all year. So, for me, I think the Swans might just have a little bit too much class, and I think the ins for them being Brandon, Jack, Rowan, and LRT might just prove a little bit too much for the Belconnen boys. My heart says Belconnen, but my head says Swans. So there you go. Of course, the ground looks in magnificent condition. A lot of the Belconnen people have come out and put the signs around the ground. They've tore up the sheets, Drury, to hand paint their favourite sayings around the ground. So it's great to see the community getting behind the Belconnen Magpies here on Eastern Conference final day.
Well, a little birdie also tells me that they're starting to customise the banners accordance with the nicknames, Davo, that you've given some of the players throughout the season. I'm looking straight at one that says Bugsy Turnbull at the moment. I'm sure that's got you written all over it, Davo.
It could be, but anyway, that's just a little bit of a play on words, Drury, as you would well know, and we'll have fun in the commentary box today. It's the last live broadcast for NEAFL this year. Of course, we go to Brisbane next weekend for the grand final, the Northeastern grand final. The winner of today being the Sydney Swans, or Belconnen Magpies, will take on the winner of the Brisbane Lions and the Aspley Hornets. And at quarter time, it was 20 points all. So the Aspley Hornets not without a show to defeat the previously undefeated Brisbane Lions up there in the Northern Conference.
Yeah, that's right. And, it is similar to the NFL setup here in the NEAFL, where we've got the two conferences. You can treat this as the conference championship today, the Eastern Finals, and the winner of this to play, as you said, winner of Aspley and Brisbane.
Just about set down here for Bouncetown here at Kipax Oval in this Eastern Conference final between the Belconnen Magpies and the might of the Sydney Swans. After we've heard the national anthem there, Drury, the hairs on the back of the neck stood up, and wish we could be out there on this day. Magnificent finals weather, and the ground looks in splendid condition.
Oh, absolutely pristine conditions here at Belconnen. As we've mentioned, there is a few clouds in the sky, but just over the ground directly there isn't any clouds, and I think we should be okay. I think we're set for glorious sunshine for the next 4 quarters, and as we alluded to, Davo, the start in particularly important for Belconnen this afternoon. They will not want to let their fans down, and certainly they don't want to give the Sydney Swans a sniff of blowing this one wide open.
Yeah, we'll just go through the sides. As we said, there was a couple of late changes there for the both sides. Going through the Belconnen side is James Bennett. He'll line up in the number 6. Jordan Harper, Simon Curtis, Lexi Bennett, Cam Campbell, Team of the Year member, Jai Bohm, Andrew Dess, Chris Jansen. Matthew Loken, the coach. Number 18 in Shane Harris. 19, Big Matthew Porter. 22, Daniel Posh is out. Joshua Hegarty in the 23. 24 is Nick Collins. Dominic Bunyan, the boutique small forward. 27, the ball magnet Matt Sharp. 33, Chris York. And 34, Damien Hector is out, as we spoke about, with an unlucky injury at training on Thursday. 35, Jack Baker. 37, John Love. 43, Isaac Taylor. 45, Andrew Browning. In the 46 is Bugsy Turnbull, and 49, Logan Austin is the late inclusion.
As for the Sydney Swans, number 1, Tim Membray. 11, Jed Lamb. 16, Gary Rohan. 19, Tony Armstrong. 22, Dean Towers. 23 is Jordan Lockyer. In the 27 is Dan Robinson. Wearing 28 this afternoon, Matthew Dick. Number 30, welcome back, Lewis Roberts-Thompson. 33, Brendan Jack. 35, Sam Naismith, the ruckman. 36, Alex Brown. 42, Xavier Richards. 44, Jake Lloyd. 47, Lloyd Peris. 48, Yaron Yafer Williams. 49, Matthew Spinks. 50 is Stephen Ray. 51, Matt Vikic. 52, Jack Hiscox. 59, Thomas Head. And 60 is Jordan Weir.
Well done to get all that out, and it's to be first bounced down to Liam Rowe, umpire Rowe in the middle of the ground, and to do battle it is Naismith to do battle with Porter in the middle of the ground, and it was won by Naismith, and he gets a second bite at the cherry, and it's tapped out there out to Hegarty with a quick handball over the back to Curtis, out to the magnet in Sharp. Sharp gets a quick kick over to James Bennett, of course. A great week for James Bennett, Mulrooney medalist at a gala presentation on Friday, and he puts it inside the 450, but it's clean up by none other than Richards over to Armstrong. Very crafty player is Armstrong. Armstrong brings it across to the number 1 in Membray. Membray dropped what he should have taken. Bone goes to ground. It was taken away by Harper. It's fed out there towards Dominic Bunyan. He just runs the ball over the boundary line for a boundary line throw in. First minute gone, and neither side gaining ascendancy there.
Yeah, nice little win for Belconnen there. Membray, well, he had a fantastic outing last time we saw him. Really should have taken that grab as the ball comes in now, and tapped down nicely from the Belconnen ruckman in Porter as they look to go forward. The Magpies early. It's been a good start, encouraging for them, but just at the back there, the Swans defence to clean up.
And it's Richards in front of Loken there. He took it from behind. Loken appealed for the free kick. It's the foot skills. It's out to Rowan, one of the silky skilled players that we're looking for. And it's out there towards that of Ray, Stephen Ray, but he's beaten by Josh Hegarty. It's the old 1-2 with Curtis Hegarty. It's the foot skills that are going to do the work for the Magpies today. It's out to Des, who was awarded goal of the year, out towards Loken. He turns onto that trusty left foot. He was worn like a glove by Xavier Richards, but it's taken and shuffled away by Des out towards Loken. Loken was taken high, and the umpire says accordingly so. This is a gettable one for Matthew Loken.
Certainly is. Great start for the Magpies. Loken, he kicks it into the man of the mark, so that wasn't what was planned. It's just put on the boot nice and early there, and I think there's a correction with number 59. I think we'll find it's Bradley Plug, Davo, instead of Thomas Head. As Plug kicks it forward, there's a chance now for the Swans. Roberts-Thompson's there. He's going to get it off the bounce. Kicks it off the right foot, Roberts-Thompson, but he misses and doesn't Jack Baker let him know about it.
And Gary Rowan comes in to remonstrate. Jack Baker certainly let him know. Welcome back to football after missing so much of the season. Of course, we're not going to miss Lewis Roberts-Thompson out there today with the green laces. So...
And looks like we've just got a free kick here.
Yeah, and it's out towards Des. He goes into the middle of the ground, and it's intercepted there by the big ruckman in Naismith. Naismith drives it down there towards Brandon Jack. He'll have to be on his game down there. Young Chris Jansen ahead of Jack, vying for a senior selection berth. Curtis goes over. It's out towards the hairdo in Spinks. Spinks brings it across there to Towers. He juggled it, and it was dropped there. It's out to Hegarty. Hegarty with a quick one over to Collins. Collins now comes further afield looking for Des in front of Richards, and takes a strong grab. That's a good mark there to Andrew Des.
Great mark from Des. Fantastic mark. Now he's got Harper short. He's going to go a little longer, although it's going to be taken nicely there by Jake Lloyd. Copped a little high shot for his troubles. Play on. That's good umpiring. Wasn't enough in that as Lloyd goes forward. Looking for Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Couldn't take the mark. Picked up nicely there by Collins, who gets it away. Can Belconnen rebound? They managed to get the kick out, and they are going to get a nice little kick forward there to Porter. Now Porter's going to kick forward, and it's a high one. Armstrong's under it. Nice punch from the Swans. and the boundary line's going to be to Stewart.
And the key matchup down there, it looks like Alex Brown's got Belconnen, and that appears to be a key matchup there. Of course, a couple of early spoils, effective spoils there, but it's Porter at the middle of the ruck, out there towards Bunyan. Bunyan's had a couple of it early, over towards Lexi Bennett. He comes back on the inside, steps inside, goes out there looking for Jai Bone, but it's taken away there by Jordan Lockyer. Lockyer with a good handball over there towards Spinks, and it's just taken away there by Lockyer again. He followed up his own work, and it's out to Simon Curtis. Curtis drives it inside the forward 50, looking for Geordie Harper. He takes it out in front of him. He gets an opportunity for the Magpies first. 35 metres from goal on a slight angle, an acute angle probably here at Kippax, but nonetheless, Drury, that is a pocket you can score from.
Yeah, he found space nicely there, Harper. It's a nice little pocket, as you mentioned there, Davo. That's what they got to do. They want to avoid the one-on-one contest, Belconnen, and just chip to space as Harper moves in. About 45 metres out. Looks good off the boot. And it's just going to go away, but Loken's got it. Loken's got about a metre out. Be tempted to play on here. No. It's a behind, is it?
The umpire's called a behind, and it's quickly brought in there by Armstrong. Armstrong over to a man vying for senior selection. It's out towards Lamb, out to that of Paris. Paris back to Armstrong. Why wouldn't you have it in their hands? Over towards Dick, out towards Yaron Jaffa Williams. But it was fed off there by Browning as they move it around through Bennett. Bennett over there towards that of Taylor, and the ball is smothered over the boundary line for a boundary line throw in there, right in front of the interchange gates here. Eastern Conference final day. Beautiful weather here at Kippax. 5 minutes gone. It is Belconnen 1 point and the Sydney Swans 0. And it's taken away there by Naismith, who got a quick kick out of the ruck over towards Membray. Membray handballs inside over there towards Lamb. Lamb brings it down inboard there towards LRT, and it's punched away there, and it's cleaned up by Rabs Bugs Turnbull. Turnbull brings it further afield out there towards Curtis. Curtis in front of Spinks as they look to control the footy. It's over there towards Hegarty. They've started well, the Magpies, Drury.
Yeah, they certainly have. Looks like a nice tight contest at the moment, which is exactly what Belconnen are looking for. They haven't given the Swans a clean mark inside 50 as yet. As the ball comes away now, looking to pick up the scraps was Alex Brown, who's in there. Kicks comes forward for the Swans, and there is their first mark inside 50 to Bradley Plug. Nice mark by Plug.
Of course, earlier in the week he was omitted from the team, so he's found his way back in there. The former Balmain boy in Brad Plug. I've liked his work for the Sydney Swans reserves through season 2. He falls, and is he going to get a shot on goal? No, that's a bit of unlucky play there for Brad Plug as he fell and kicked, and it's gone out of bounds on the full for a free kick to the Magpies.
Yeah, it just slipped over there, Bradley Plug, but certainly a player who's added a lot of bulk this season. He really is. Now got that extra dimension to his game with that extra bit of size to him, as we see Plug going back now, trying to spoil the mark. Second effort's nice tackle by Plug. Was it deliberate? No, it wasn't, but the Swans are going to come away with it now. Can they get the boot away? They can. They'll even get a mark, and a nice mark there for the Swans.
I think it's Xavier Richards that took the mark out there. It is. It's Richards. He puts it inside the forward 50, and it's into the space, into the waiting arms of Lewis Roberts Thompson. Hasn't played since round 4 in the seniors. First game back. Are they going to take him to Perth next week, Drury?
Well, I think it depends if he kicks this, Craig.
Lewis Roberts Thompson with the green shoelaces gets an opportunity for the Swans first. They just put the ball in with precision and dropped it into the arms. And they just found space over 3 or 4 Belconnen defenders. There was nothing much they could really do. Lewis Roberts Thompson, does he like it off the boot? You betcha. That's a good goal there to Lewis Roberts Thompson. He brings the Swans first up, and he gets his first. So that's a welcome return to Lewis Roberts Thompson.
Lovely kick from LRT there. A lot of players try to overkick it when they're in that pocket over there, but not Roberts Thompson. He just gave it a nice little poke, kick through the ball, and he liked it as soon as he kicked it there. First goal to the Swans. It's 1 goal straight, 6 to Belconnen's behind. 6-1. But I do like what I see early from Belconnen, Davo.
Absolutely. Try to limit the influence of the Swans being able to come back through the corridor is the key to this game. If they can limit the Swans coming back through the corridor, they'll go a long way to bridging the gap. But it's back to the middle of the ground and it's sharked there by Lamb, and it is a little bit soft underfoot, so be careful. There's Thompson, he's got his tail up. He tried a quick handball, but it didn't come off there, and it comes out towards Towers. He was slung to the ground out there by Turnbull. Now they're out, it's out towards Bennett. Bennett with a quick handball over there towards Sharp, the boy from Benalla. Sharp puts it down there towards York, who was caught behind on this occasion. He just got caught spectating there, and it's out there towards that of Lloyd. Jake Lloyd, of course, team of the year of the NEAFL, out there towards Membray. He was pushed under it a little bit. It's out there towards that of Taylor. He's had a haircut since last week as young Isaac Taylor, the 43, and it's just bounced inside in the boundary line. So 7 minutes gone, 8 minutes gone in this first quarter of the Eastern Conference Final. It is the Sydney Swans by 5 points.
Yeah, we mentioned John Longmire in the crowd this afternoon. I think that might just give the Swans an extra 10% this afternoon, particularly those players we mentioned, Jed Lamb, Rohan, Roberts Thompson and Brendan Jack, all a chance to play AFL Finals footy as the ball comes away once again over the boundary line.
There'll be a boundary line thrown, and of course you're only an injury away from making a senior debut. We saw Mitch Morton, who have called it a day earlier in the year, but he got the premiership medal last year for the Sydney Swans after not playing many senior games at all. That's a free kick there against Naismith. He bumped Big Porter, so the size of Porter's worrying Naismith. Out to Big Porter. So Porter goes long down the line, looking for that of Harris. It's punched away there out towards Dess. Dess was tackled. That was a good tackle there, and I think it was Alex Brown. And he'll get a free kick, will he, for dropping the ball? I think he will. Is it a free kick?
Yes, it certainly is. All over it there, Eagle Eyes. Brett Davis as the ball comes forward to that man Naismith, who gave away the free kick, but picked up the crumbs nicely there. There he is again, James Bennett, the Mulrooney medalist. And we're going to see a free kick here. It's going to go back to Harper. Harper's going to go short. Nice mark there from Dess, who's been very busy very early for the Magpies. Dess looks to pump it forward now. Is he looking for Loken? Well, no, he's looking for, I think it might have been, I'm not sure who it was there, but they've got it away all of a sudden through Armstrong, the Swans. The Swans will look to play on here.
As they go across the ground here, it's Armstrong penetrating kick across to Jaffa Williams. Jaffa Williams comes long down the line for LRT, who's made space. He's run Browning under the ball. He looks to tap it over there towards that of Matt Vasevic, and it's taken away there by Jansen, was it? No, it was Hegarty. It was on his haunches over towards Membray. That wasn't 15. Called the play on. They didn't wait for the umpire, and that's a good tackle there from Hegarty. Didn't give the free kick away, and that's smothered off the boot there of Hiscox as the Belconnen stand resolute through James Bennett, and they bring it out there towards the speed machine in Gary Rowan. Rowan evades a would-be tackler, gets a quick lightning handball over towards Jed Lamb. It was too quick for him, and it's gone over the boundary line for a boundary line thrown right in front of the scoreboard here. 12 minutes gone. They're really limiting the damage, the Magpies.
Oh, tremendous pressure, tremendous defensive pressure there from the Magpies. We saw a couple of tackles, we saw a smother. They're the types of things that can really lift teams, and they're going to get away with this with a nice clearance, Belconnen. So well done to the Belconnen Footy Club. They made a bit of territory too, and we're back to even Stevens on halfway.
I've got a question, Drury. Do you play ugly footy to win the game of footy today against, what would be a normal game plan? The Magpies, if they're going to be successful, they need to play ugly. Touch finders look for legitimate ways to make it ugly.
Absolutely you do. You play exactly like a Ross Lyon team would play. Belconnen certainly need to find ways to really level this one out. We mentioned the rain could have done that. They didn't get that, unfortunately, for the Magpies, but certainly they want to do things like really try and ruffle the feathers and get under the skin of some of these young Swans players. So, they'll look for plenty of stoppages, plenty of tackles, and to really be the aggressors physically.
And that's a free kick there to Harris, and he picks out the Goal of the Year recipient, a Team of the Year player in the Big Easy, Andrew Dess. He's had a stellar season in the NEAFL. He's really come of age under the tutelage of Matthew Loken. He's become one of the premier forwards in the competition, Drury. So Andrew Dess, he's kicked 40, 50 goals for the season. Can he get the Magpies first? He launches with a big bomb, but I think it's gone just a little bit wide. for a solitary behind. Yes, it is. So it's just a behind there to Andrew Dess.
Well, if anyone deserves a goal early for Belconnen, it's Dess, as we see the Swans come away, and a nice mark to Alex Brown, who plays on quickly as the Swans, they go forward. It wasn't the best kick. Will they get a lucky bounce? Yes, they will. Brandon Jack with a nice handball. He goes back now as the kick comes forward from Jed Lamb. Jed Lamb, he kicks it forward. He was actually looking for Vicic, but the Swans are going to follow up through Brandon Jack. No, it's going to beat them over. So quite easily going coast to coast there, the Swans.
And it's a throw in, so yeah, they just really didn't get a touch on it, did they? Didn't allow him with super foot skills from the Swans. It's taken there away from Bohm, out towards Bennett. Bennett tries to shuffle it out of the pack, and he does, out towards that of Sharp. Sharp over to Harper, who quickly got back to his feet. He gets around the corner kick, looking for the boundary line out there. He was manhandled, was Dess, but it's out towards Brown. He's been rock solid for the Swans all year as Alex Brown. He goes further afield and picks out that of Xavier Richards, of course, brother of Ted. He could be in line for a senior recall. Out there towards another star in Lloyd Paris. Paris comes across there towards Jack Hiscox. Hiscox comes through the middle of the ground towards Ray. Ray drives it long, looking down there for Gary Rowan. The wheels. Gary Rowan wheels, and he puts it through for a not even a minor score. The umpire says it's hit the post, and we'll get a boundary line throwing. This is where they're dangerous, Jury, at the stoppages around the goals.
That's right. They'll look to play on as much as they possibly can, the Swans. They know they've got the edge fitness-wise, and their game today will certainly be looking to play on, whereas Belconnen, it's completely the opposite here, as we see the Swans just couldn't get the kick away. Nice tackle. It's still in dispute here. And Rowan, gee, I get nervous every time Rowan goes towards the ground, coming back from that injury, Davo. But once again, the tackling from Belconnen has been superb.
Yeah, great tackle there from Haggerty. He goes further afield, but it's intercepted there by Matt Vicic. So it's Joshua Haggerty, the former Sturt boy. He really undid his good work there. I think you're dead right about the Gary Rowan one. I think there's a silent cringe from all football fellows after that sickening leg injury, and we all just want to wish him the best in getting back to playing senior footy. So the interchange player Vicic, he comes on and he kicks the Swans second, and that's a good return there for Matt Vicic.
Nice finish from Vicic. I liked his composure. As soon as he took the mark, he said, settle down, boys. I'm going to go back and I'm going to slot this through. That's what he did. And fantastic effort there. I still think Belconnen's defensive pressure has been fantastic, and they've just got to hang in here. It's one of those days, Davo, where Belconnen will have to kick as straight as possible. I know you're probably thinking, well, you got to do that every game, but Belconnen really do need to take every opportunity this afternoon. They've got to slow the game down when they can, and they've got to tackle hard, which is what they have been doing very well.
Yeah, they just need to limit the damage and just make sure their foot skills are spot on today, as we saw. That's the first time we've seen Matt Vicic in the Swans colours. That Swans Academy that they've produced, they just keep producing footballer after footballer, and it's been a delight to watch. And there's a poor foot skill there by Curtis, but Haggerty was good enough to bend down below his knees. He's been chased by Towers, and that's a solid chase there by Dean Towers. And Joshua Haggerty didn't respond to the voice. That's two mistakes in a couple of minutes for Josh Haggerty, and it allows the Swans to go on the attack further afield out there towards that of Robinson. Of course, in the team of the year, Robinson has been a star for the Sydney Swans in the NEAFL, and it's a quick handball over there towards Hiscox. These rookie players out to
fantastic.
Rowan. There you go. Rowan brings it back inside towards Armstrong. They're the guys that are going to touch the footy and catch up all day. Rowan, Armstrong. And there's an injury out there. There's a real bad arm injury. I'll keep my eye on that. I think it's to Cam Campbell, is it? That it is. It looks like it is to Cameron Campbell, so that's a big blow.
Particularly if they lose someone that's part of the team of the year here, Davo, as we see Armstrong move in. Keep your eyes on Cam Campbell. We saw great mark to Rowan, great use of the body. He dished it back, better the position. Armstrong moving in. He likes it. He kicks the Swans third.
There you have it, and that is a bad injury there to Cam Campbell. It looks like it's a broken arm. We'll keep you updated on that. So that's shocking news there to Cameron Campbell, of course. That'll force Loken to go down in the back half because Cam Campbell is the key defensive player for the Belconnen Magpies. But let's not detract from the good work over there. It was poor effort there by Joshua Hegarty. He just didn't respond to the voice, and he was chased down in a great tackle from behind from Dean Towers. Created the turnover, and all of a sudden the Swans have got 3 goals on the board, Drury.
Yeah, look, and I think, Belconnen, they've just got to stay in this one. It's very early days.
Very early days. They need to get on the board with the scores. As we go back to the middle of the ground, it's out to Nathan Ellsworthy, who puts it down, and it's a plug to do battle with a Porter in the middle of the ground, and it's taken away by Lexi Bennett. Bennett puts it down there, but it's taken away by Armstrong. He's starring already as Tony Armstrong. It's taken away by York, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. Which way will the umpire see this one? He says, I'm going to bounce it down. Umpire Brent Pawley of the year. And number 34, and it's taken away there out of the contest by Robinson, a quick handball there, and it was taken away by Jordan Weir. Spinks is in there as Harper got a quick kick out to Lamb, out towards Armstrong, who jinked one way, got the quick kick away. Armstrong only into the arms of the big Matthew Porter, another Team of the Year player for the NEAFL in 2013. Porter brings it further afield. He comes towards Alexi Bennett, of course, the captain of the Magpies. Alexander Bennett, he brings it long down the line, looking down there for, I think it'll be no one because the wind will take it out of bounds on the full. It'll be a free kick to the Swans in front of Loken's pocket down here at Kippax Oval. 19 minutes gone, and as the Swans by 16 points here in this Eastern Conference final. Of course, the winner gets bragging rights, and they get to play in next week's North Eastern Football League Grand Final against the winner of the Brisbane Lions and the Aspley Hornets. We'll keep you updated with that one. But at the moment, it is the Sydney Swans here in Eastern Conference Final Day.
Yes, certainly, Davo, you'll have to keep us updated. And the Lions and the Hornets up north, who, as you said, will play the winner of this. A nice punch away now, and yes, Tony Armstrong has been amazing so far. Loves trying to get to the ball, but it's going to come away now, and the ball comes in the hands of Visic, who's been good as well. Oh, evaded the tackle well there, Brad Plug. Now he's going to let Brendan Jack pick up the scraps, who goes to Jed Lamb. He had his back turned, but Lamb, he did well to finally pick up the ball, but he's gone. Great tackling pressure rather again, and this time from the Mulrooney medalist James Bennett. Now Bennett kicks it forward and kicks to a contest. Got a few players there. Yep, goes and Lockyer is there for the Swans. Into space, it's going to fortuitously go forward here for the Magpies. Harper's lurking, but the Swans are going to come away with it through young Spinks.
Spinks got a chase down from behind. It's picked up by Armstrong, who's keeping the Swans in the game from half back there, and that goes out of bounds on the full. It'll be a free kick in front of the interchange gates here. It'll go to Nick Collins. So the Belconnen Magpies applying plenty of pressure in this opening stanza. 21 minutes gone. Collins shows a bit of candy. He gets a quick handball away. He was pursued by Towers. It's over towards the big fella in Porter. Porter long down inside the forward 50, but it was intercepted there by Lockyer. He's been solid down there all season. He comes across to Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Roberts-Thompson in front of Browning. Saw the run of Dick. Dick comes further afield along down the line looking for Jaffa Williams. It's Curtis for Belconnen who picked it up nicely over there towards that of, I think it's Taylor out there, and they come further afield in towards Hegarty. Hegarty right in the middle of the ground over towards Bohm. He found the rub of Turnbull, who got a quick handball over towards Sharp as they look to go inside forward 50. Here's Loken. He has a run and bounce. The coach, Matthew Loken, with a quick handball over towards Shane Harris, the former Mulrooney medalist, gets the Magpies first on the board at the 21-minute mark.
Oh, good to see the Magpies on the board here. Lovely to see Loken in full flight. Just got the bounce there. Read that better than his opponent. Nice little handball centre, and Harris for the easiest of goals, and the margin back to 10 points.
Great work there by Simon Curtis in the back half. He looks like he's on his game today. He's a key contributor for the Belconnen Magpies. He really needs to play out of his skin today, Simon Curtis. He looks like he's brought the A-grade game today here to Kippax. Of course, that delighted the fans out here, Drury.
Oh, the fans are up. They're about. Kippax has come alive.
Absolutely, of course. If the Magpies can get up tonight, we will see Kippax come alive. Don't worry about that. That was a push in the back there, but the umpires let it go, and that was good, solid tackle pressure from the Sydney Swans in the middle of the ground. It didn't travel far out of the centre square, and the umpire says, I'll have it, and we'll have another bounce in the middle of the ground. He throws the ball up. It's taken away by Porter. He got a quick backhanded tap, only as far as Lamb, who read that best off the hands. And they're very good at the scrimmages, the Swans. It's out towards Curtis. He just, an a-la basketball, out towards the speedy Jaffa Williams. He gets it onto the left foot quickly, looking down there for Membray. And that's a good grab there by Nick Collins. Nick Collins comes further afield to Love. Love in front of Spinks. Love with a wobbly looking kick. He's found that of, I think it's Baker out there. Yes, it is. It is. No, it's McGrath. Drew McGrath in the 38. He was a late inclusion coming for Hector, but that's a 50-metre penalty, I think, Drury, is it?
Yeah, 50-metre penalty against Jake Lloyd there. Lloyd just moving forward, came into the mark there, but it's just been overturned. Now, this was silly. This was very silly. Now, as the 50-metre was given, well, they're just going to pay the original mark because Lloyd was actually pushed off the ball by Belconnen. So, silly play there. Still Magpies ball, however, as young Des there looks for the boundary line. Is going to find it. But what happened there was Lloyd gave away the initial 50, and as they were marching forward, just one of the Magpies players coming in, pushed Lloyd over, and of course, that nullified the original 50.
Silly play there. It's Loken in the middle of the ruck there. It's out towards Bennett, out towards that of Love, out to the inside of the boot of Sharp. Sharp tried to get it over there to York, out towards Des. Des tight on the boundary line. A minus score for the Magpies. So the Magpies bridging the gap here at Kippax.
Swans play on straight away. Nice mark there to Lloyd. So Jake Lloyd starting to get much more involved. It's a one-on-one contest. I think it's going to be against Belconnen here. Free kick to go to Hiscox. It was just manhandled a little bit too much for the umpire's liking. Now Hiscox is going to put it forward nicely. Taken by Dan Robinson, the 19-year-old. And what a great kick that was to Bradley Plug. And Plug's going to take the mark. He did have a similar kick earlier from around here where he did slip over. So hopefully Bradley Plug's found a firmer piece of turf this time round.
You'd hope so, Drury. Common Turk go over tea. But Brad Plug, the 19-year-old from Balmain, as you said, he's been a star for the Swans. He's learnt from the last kick, and does he like it? I think he's just pushed it over there for a behind. So the umpire sticks out the one jerk for a minor score to Bradley Plug. As Belconnen looked to bring the ball back in through Jansen. It's Chris Jansen. He comes out there towards that of, it is Jack Baker. Baker quickly plays on, goes long down the line, but he's turned it over there towards Lockyer. Out there towards Spinks. He was warned by Love. That is dropping the ball.
That certainly
incorrect.
should have been ball.
And the umpires missed that one, and it's taken away there by, and they've called it out of bounds now, so we'll get a boundary line throw in right in front of the interchange gates. 25 minutes gone. It is the Swans by 10 points.
Yeah, thought Matthew Spinks just incorrectly disposed of that. They got away with one there, the Swans. As they come away with it now, tried to get... The ball was Lloyd there, and Lamb tried to get it away, but it's come away for the Magpies now. Nice little handball over the top by Bunyan. They're away now, are they? No, Jaffa Williams was there for the Swans, and it's going to be intercepted, although they did get a nice little bounce and a handball over the way from Curtis. Curtis is going to release Austin here. He's going to centre the ball for Harris. Harris might get there first for the second effort. Around the corner from Harris. He's kicked it.
Great kick there to Shane Harris, the diminutive small forward. It was great lead-up work by Simon Curtis in the middle of the ground, and Shane Harris finishes it off after he pushed the defender under the ball, and that's his second goal in a matter of minutes. 4 points the margin here at Kippax. 27 minutes gone. Magpies making the play here at Kippax, Drury.
Oh, unbelievable snap from Harris. Didn't get the kick he wanted, but just followed up nicely and didn't muck around either. Straight back onto the boot for a nice around the corner, easy as you like.
He certainly made that look very easy. Shane Harris, of course, missed the bulk of 2013 with a nasty knee injury. Great to see him back out there, of course. A couple of Mulrooney medalists out on the ground today. 2012, we saw Shane Harris the recipient, and 2013, James Bennett was crowned Mulrooney medalist. Out there towards Turnbull, he's been in great form. Turnbull, out there towards that of Jansen, and they come further afield towards Love. Love goes quickly along the boundary line there towards Andrew Dess in a touch finder, and it's gone over the bounds, out of bounds for a boundary line throw in about 65 from the Belconnen goal.
As we see Membray coming on in back play for Lewis Roberts-Thompson. That ball comes in now. Porter got the first tap. The Swans are going to come away with it though through Towers. They got a hand pass away eventually, although picked up now by Jansen. And then on to Brendan Jack, who found himself with it. Nice tackle there from Turnbull. And it's going to be a ball up. It's knocked down, and might be the Magpies here that come away with it. Yep, put on the boot there from Harper. It goes straight up in the air though. It's the two ruckmen going for it, Naismith and Porter. It's going to come down nicely though. I think it might be Jybone. No, it's Taylor. But the Hooters going to beat them, Davo.
There you have it. So the Magpies trail by 4 points. A solid opening there by the Magpies. The Swans, what did you make of their start, Drury?
Yeah, look, great start from the Swans, but I think if we look at possession, Belconnen's probably had more of the footy, which is encouraging for them, and the Swans have probably scored most of their points on the counter-attack, and that's what they'll look to do, just quick in transition today, play on quickly, use their speed, use their fitness. But certainly Belconnen, that's just the type of game that they're after this afternoon, a close one, which just keeps them in. If they can just stay in this one, just tighten things up for the Swans, they'll have everything to play for.
Welcome back to quarter 2 here at Kippax on this Eastern Conference final day. It is the Sydney Swans by 4 points. Swans start a little bit shakily there, Drew. They look like a little bit of nerves coming out there for that first quarter. Yeah,
they certainly did. And if we saw the huddles at half-time, Belconnen looked a little bit more flamboyant and a little bit more positive. They have got more scoring shots on the board. I think the Magpies fans, whilst trailing by 4, would be delighted thus far.
Absolutely. Apologies out to Thomas Head, who's wearing the 59, not Brad Plug. They do look very similar, but it is Thomas Head in the 59. Just got clarification from the Swans coaching staff. We'll see how it goes in the middle of the ground. It's the big fellas to do battle. It's out towards the ball magnet in James Bennett. He doesn't stop trying. You can see why he was crowned the Mulrooney medalist in 2013. There's stacks on the mill there in the middle of the ground, and the umpire, Brent Pawley, the umpire of the year, says, I'll have it, and we'll throw it up in the middle of the ground.
What are your thoughts, Davo? Obviously, Cam Campbell leaving the ground early, impact that'll have on the Magpies?
Look, it throws their defensive structure out a bit, but what it does allow them to do is it gives a guy like Nick Collins a chance. What I didn't like is I saw Membray go on to Browning. That'll hurt, and that's what the Swans will want, because that's a good grab there by York, right on 50. Let's see what he's learnt from Blacktown, because he had one similar in Blacktown that had the chance for the Belconnen Magpies to really just bridge the gap in it, and I thought it broke the wind in their sails. So Chris York, he's kicked a bagful in season 2013. He puts this one just wide for a minor score. So they bridge the gap a little bit closer. 3 points here, quarter 2. Hope you're enjoying the coverage with Brett Davis and Drury Forbes here through NEAFL.com.au. It's in the hands of Gary Rowan. He took a good mark in front of Love. A pinpoint kick over there towards that of Lloyd. Lloyd inside the back 50. He's got the decision as they force them wide again. So that tactic seems to be working as it goes up there towards that of Lewis Roberts-Thompson. And it's just taken over the boundary line for Andrew Browning, and it'll be a boundary line throw in right at the interchange gates here at Kippax Oval.
As we see, we might see Lewis Roberts-Thompson go in the ruck here. No, he's going to run on forward. So Roberts-Thompson back on forward for the Swans. It comes down. Porter got a first touch to it. Lloyd was there. It's going to come away now. Well, it's going to be a free kick for a throw. I thought Dan Robinson had it for a moment there, but the Swans will still get it through Lloyd. So it's going to be a free kick to Lloyd. No, it's going to be a free kick to Naismith, who gives it to Lloyd, and Lloyd jinks inside. It's a nice hand pass over the top to Lamb. Lamb had Naismith, elected not to use him, and kicks it forward into the forward 50, looking for Rohan, but it comes down now to Brandon Jack, who got a nice hand pass away, back to Rohan. Banana around the corner from Rohan, and I think he's put it through, Davo. What a goal!
Gary Rowan just showed all his class with the outside of the boot. Outside banana, he didn't panic inside the forward 50. That'll please the coach Horse Longmire in the crowd there today. Don't worry about that. He'd be salivating about that. He's kicked a couple of good ones as Gary Rowan. That's his second for the afternoon. Of course, Jared Crouch spoke at Mulrooney on Friday about the need for the Swans, and he doesn't see himself as the reserve grade coach. He's the development coach, and he gets a great kick out of seeing someone like Shane Biggs take the field on last night against Carlton. So, you know, full credit to Jared Crouch and the coaching staff here of the NEAFL side, because they're tasked with a huge job week in, week out, Drury, to get their side that changes consistently at the demands of the senior coach.
They certainly are, and I'm sure he'd be also happy to see Thomas Head get a run in the first. As we see the ball come down, it was a nice bounce from Liam Rowe, but the ball's going to come forward to the Magpies. A little bit of argy-bargy in the centre square, which we'll keep an eye on, but for now, it looks like the boundary line's going to have this one, and the players have just stopped tussling, I'd call it, but there was a little bit of just
jumper tugging,
jumper grabbing and tugging and Gary Rohan was involved there as well. As the ball comes back in, and the Swans, they're looking to get it out of the danger area, but Belconnen, they'll have something to say about that. Certainly Lexi Bennett will anyway.
And it's taken away there, a good clearance there from Lamb out towards LRT, over towards Browning with a quick kick or a handball over there towards Curtis. He should go long there, and he goes short to Bunyan, and it's taken away there by Harper, who was sweated on there by Lamb, and they gets a quick handball away. It's out towards Bunyan. He got his hands free and it's created another turnover. Curtis gives the big don't argue, goes onto the left boot on 50, and that'll go out of bounds on the full for a free kick to the Sydney Swans. 4 minutes gone here at quarter two. Kipax, it is the Sydney Swans 4-1-25, Belconnen 2-4-16.
Nice little kick forward as they get the 1-2 happening here, and Armstrong's going to put it on the boot and kick it forward. And looking for Brandon Jack, who just might have judged that a little bit better, and still on. And Brandon Jack with a nice little hand pass away to Spinks, and Spinks is going to go forward. Is it Thomas Head, Davo?
I think it is the big 59. It is Thomas Head.
Geez, bulked up, hasn't he, Thomas?
Thomas Head. He puts it along to the top of the square, looking for Lewis Robert Thompson. Even that one's got too much for it, so it goes through for a minor score here at Kipax Oval. So it is a minus. No, it's gone out of bounds. So we'll see a boundary line throw in as my co-commentator breaks down in tears here next to me, and it's thrown in, and it's Porter to do battle with Naismith, and it's taken away by Bennett. Bennett gets a quick chip out there towards that of Des. He got a quick handball away towards the runner Curtis. Curtis found Bennett backing up. Bennett goes long down the line, only as far as Xavier Richards. Really needed to make more of that. He's been a rock of Gibraltar down there as Xavier Richards. He comes through Towers. Towers over towards Lamb. You can't miss Lamb out there. He's got the bright pink boots, and it's just a good intercept mark there by young Chris Jansen.
Gee, that was a fantastic mark from Jansen, because the Swans look good then. They were away, so this could be a 2-point turnaround here if the Magpies can march it forward. Tremendous interception, and Jansen just goes wide on the outer side as they start to just chip it around, control the tempo a little bit, Belconnen. They only trail currently by 9 points. There's nothing in it. As we mentioned, they've had the better of the scoring shots, just haven't been able to kick as straight as the Swans thus far. He's told to play on now, seems to be taking his time with this one. Elects to the hand pass and gets the 1-2, but I think he's going to be tackled, and the ball is going to go out of bounds.
For a boundary line throw. That wasn't too bad at the end of that. He's probably gained 25 metres after a little play. He didn't butcher the ball. He didn't kick it long. He didn't panic. They've learned a lot from Blacktown, the Belconnen boys. So full credit to them and Coach Loken. But that's a good tap there from Porter out towards Turnbull. Turnbull inside the 450, looking there for Des, and it's going to beat them out to the diminutive Harris. Harris on the left foot for a goal. Shane Harris. 3 goals in 2 quarters of football. That's why you were the Mulrooney medalist in 2012, Shane Harris.
Well, just going back to the importance of that Jensen interception. Fantastic play there from Belconnen to really lock it in, and they won the clearance from the boundary throw-in and got it forward, and ever the opportunist Harris, that's his 2nd goal. A great start for him, and a great start to the Magpies. That's his 3rd, I've been told. So Harris has kicked all 3 of Belconnen's goals this afternoon. An even better start for Harris and the Magpies.
There was some doubts about Shane Harris and his fitness, but he's certainly proving all the detractors wrong. A worthy inclusion with 3 goals in less than 37 minutes of football. Back to the middle of the ground as umpire Nathan Ellsworthy puts it down on the deck, and it's Big Naismith who gets a clearing kick. That's worthy of a kick, that one. It's out there towards Hegarty. He's been into it early. Over there towards the run of Logan Austin. Austin, of course, a late inclusion. He's a tall player, played in a lot of the development programs through the AFL. Logan Austin, and that's socket off the ground. And they're just rattling him a little bit, the Belconnen Magpies, Drury.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of talk, a lot of communication out there at the moment from the Swans. And I think it might just be a case where they just expected things to come a little easier rather than putting the work in. But having said that, we must remember that the Swans, they do lead this one as Naismith gets it off to Armstrong. Armstrong's been one of their best, and he gets a nice little kick in, beautiful little kick in from Armstrong. Fantastic kick, and he's found Membray, the man who kicked 7 goals, I think it was, last time these two sides met.
He certainly was a thorn in the Belconnen side at Blacktown, and he gets his first opportunity of the afternoon, the number 1, Timmy Membray. He's been a solid contributor, and he's a star on the rise at the Swans. Don't worry about that. He'll kick from directly in front on about 40. Let's see, we'll ride it home with Timmy Membray. Membray, I think he's got that one. He likes that one off the boot. My co-commentator gives the thumbs up. And yes, he does. Tim Membray, that's his first of the afternoon, and that's the Swans' 5th as they take the lead out there now to 9 points.
Yeah, back out to 9. Timmy Membray, it was a lovely kick, and even a better kick was that of Armstrong's. Armstrong's certainly been the Swans' best early here, Davo.
Armstrong certainly, well, of course, the best on ground today will be the recipient of the Alex Jezelenko medal. That is the player that's adjudged best on ground at the end of the game. So he'd be high up in the voting, would be Tony Armstrong. Of course, for the Magpies, James Bennett's had another one of those stellar starts. And, of course, Simon Curtis in the back half's been quite good too for the Magpies. But back to the middle of the ground as they throw the ball onto the ground. It is umpire Liam Rowe, and he calls it back. I'm not quite sure. No, I think it was a non-favourable bounce. Yep, that it is.
That's his first day. He's been bouncing beautifully thus far, Rowe, hasn't he?
The umpires, they look magnificent out there in the middle of the ground.
They look good in green too, don't they?
Oh, certainly they blend in with the grass, Drury. Plenty of grass out here at Kipax, the community-minded sports ground, but it's land. Tackling pressure from the Magpies is magnificent. It's out there towards that of Austin. He just gave that up a little bit too easy. It's out towards that of Armstrong. Armstrong puts them further into attack. He goes further afield looking for Browning. It's out there towards Nick Cotton. No, it was Jensen. It's out towards Baker. Baker is tackled there by a big Thomas Head, and he is taken to the ground. I think the umpire's going to pay a free kick here against Baker if he's not careful. Can't see it. I don't know what's happened here.
Yeah, free kick, Davo. You were spot on there.
That's to Robinson, who was against James Bennett, and they just bring it into the middle of the ground there towards Lloyd. Young Jake Lloyd.
Just a little bit too easy there, sorry to cut you off, Davo, but once the free kick was paid, Jake Lloyd should never have been there all on his own.
He's been a star all year for this Sydney Swans reserve side, as Jake Lloyd culminated in him being named in the NEAFL Team of the Year. He gets a chance for his first and the Swans' 6th. He is directly in front, 45 metres out. Jake Lloyd, how do you like it? Off the boot, Jake Lloyd. I think it's straight over the goal umpire's head, so that's a good goal there to young Jake Lloyd. That's his first for the afternoon and the Swans' 6th.
Yeah, look, the scoreboard at the moment probably doesn't indicate how close it is. The difference being the Swans kicking very straight. They've now got 6 goals, 1. But certainly don't be fooled by the scoreboard just yet. Belconnen certainly playing with their strengths right in this one at the moment. But a lovely finish there, and the Swans now, their lead out to the biggest it's been so far today, 15 points, 6-1-37, plays Belconnen's 3-4-22.
As we come back to the middle of the ground, it is umpire Ellsworthy. We'll see if we can get a score out of Brisbane. It was the Lions at half-time, 52-41 against the Aspley Hornets, but it's Browning into the middle of the ground. He gets it down towards Sharp, and he's pursued there by Lamb, and it doesn't really go far. The umpire says, I'll have it. And back to another throw up in the middle of the ground. It is Browning. He got a clear tap out there only as far as Brown, but it was sharked there by Lexi Bennett and taken to the ground. No, it's come out of there to James Bennett. Bennett is being wrestled to the ground by the last goal scorer in Lloyd. And the umpire says, I'll have it again, and we'll throw it up just short of the centre square there. And it's Browning. He got collared around the neck, but it's taken away there by Spinks. Now it's taken away there by that of Matt Visevich. Is it
Visage?
Visage
is wearing Brad Plugg's old number, 51. As the umpire once again wants it, it's Nathan Ellsworthy, the rookie. He's having a tremendous season umpiring here, and it looks like he might get another crack at it as Spinks is held up by a couple of tacklers, including James Bennett, the Mulrooney medalist, NEAFL Team of the Year. And the kick coming away now. Belconnen win that one. Nice handball off from Des. Des kicks it under pressure. He was there. Was Matty Sharp, but he put it up nicely. Just couldn't take it. There was Love. Des is there again, but it's going to be taken over the line. And Alex Brown put the pressure on and comes off straight away as we see Xavier Richards back on the field. Throw in comes in now. It's Thomas head up there. Jack got to it first, and the Swans are going to come away now. It was Lloyd. He's been very active, Lloyd. He hands it off to Armstrong. Armstrong kicks it forward. Couldn't take the mark. Was Membrane, but he'll get a second effort here. And just go over the boundary line. So Jaffa Williams and Jordan Weir also there, but the ball beating them all over. And once again, we will keep you posted in that Brisbane Lions Aspley Hornets score. Of course, the winners of that match and this match to play each other in the grand final, NEAFL grand final, next week.
Yeah, there towards that of Brandon Jack. He got a quick handball away there towards Jack Hiscox. And Hiscox off the bench straight through for a 6-pointer. He kicks the Swans 7 as they take a 19-point lead out here in quarter 2. 15 minutes gone here at the Nest. It is the Sydney Swans with some clever work in close there. Resulted in Jack Hiscox with a clever goal straight off the interchange bench.
Yeah, look, that was almost unexpectedly that goal. It was a little bit like a training run. Before we knew it, Hiscox was 35 out directly in front, and he made no mistake there. So another straight goal for the Swans. They have been kicking extremely well in front of goal today, out to 7 goals, and the margin now is 21 points as the ball is bounced up by Paulie, and Robinson was there for the Swans. Nicely muscled off it there by the Magpies, and it looks like they're going to hold this one in, Belconnen.
Drew, just 4 of the Sydney goals have come from Belconnen errors, not through their lack of play. It's just that Belconnen just turning the ball over in crucial positions. That last goal we saw there from Hiscox was come from a direct error, so it's out towards Love, who takes a strong mark there in front of Lockyer. So that's a good mark there to Johnny Love. He goes there to Harris. He had the arms chopped, but the umpire says no, play on. It's out there cleaned up by Richards, out to the star in Armstrong. Armstrong clever as you like across to the 27 in Dan Robinson. Like his work, Dan Robinson, he goes further afield to the run there of the Swans. Dick goes along down the line towards a Membrane. They just get it in the right hands all the time, the Sydney Swans.
Particularly Matthew Dick, as we see the Swans on the outer side now, as they're going to push forward again. And this one to a contest though, intended for Naismith, but Brandon Jack's got it now on the left foot. 45 out, just trying to angle it in, but it's going to beat everybody over for out of bounds on the full. So Belconnen will get the free kick here. And at the moment we see not one Belconnen player in their forward 50. Loken the deepest, and he's coming up towards the centre circle, Davo.
Yeah, there's a free kick here to the Belconnen Magpies for out of bounds on the full. It's out there towards Browning, but a good strong grab there by big Sammy Naismith. Naismith comes back into the centre of the corridor, looking down there for it's a good grab out
Robinson?
There. I think it is Towers, is it? No, it is Towers. The 22, is it? Dean Towers, yes it is.
27.
It's Dan Robinson, Davo, the 19-year-old. It was a fantastic mark. We only just called him moments ago on the other end of the field.
It's Towers.
Is it Towers?
It's Dean Towers as he tries the banana, And what was the result there? I think it was a minor score. Yes, it was. So Towers with the minor score, you can tell him apart. He's wearing the white boots, Drury. Of course, when you're playing for Balmain, I guess you used to wear the white boots, correct? A la Warwick Kappa.
I actually refuse to wear the white boots. Thank you very much, Davo. I think all players should wear black boots, the traditional colour.
What about in your...
Especially umpires and officials.
What about in your playing days as the front row forward for the Newtown Jets in the Jim Beam Cup? As we have a little bit of banter here in the commentary box, but it's back to the football. It's Jake Hiscox who got a clever kick away there to LRT in towards Lamb as they bring it back on one of the rare occasions through the corridor. Lamb goes further afield and it's out there towards that of Dick. Dick goes further inside the forward 50, but it's a good grab taken there by Curtis. He's been good for the Magpies today with a quick handball. He gets a handball receive and it's taken away by Des. He follows his good work up Curtis, but now he's corralled into the boundary line, but he just takes the heat out of it, and it's not a free kick, it wasn't a mark, but it's into the arms of Nick Collins as they go further afield over there towards that of Haggerty as they look to switch it across the far side of the ground here at Kippax Oval towards a good crowd out there on that far side here at Kippax Oval. It's in the hands of Jai Bone. Bone now with an important kick, can't turn it over, and that was good play there by James Bennett. He just filled into the space as they go further afield down there towards Turnbull. That's Bugsy Rabbit Turnbull, Ryan Turnbull, which is Christian name, Ryan. Of course, his nickname, I don't know what...
They're doing this. Yeah, it's a blood rule. They've done this very nicely, though, Belconnen. Just being patient. They realise that probably coming past this grandstand side initially wasn't the best option. They've just settled back and nice switch up. They've actually gained ground and they've kept control and possession of the footy, which is the most important thing. And we're just going to wait for this blood rule now. But one of your men, Davo, Bugsy Turnbull, a man they call Bugsy. He'll have an opportunity to drive this into the forward 50 once play resumes, which it's about to. And he actually goes back across now to Harper. So Bugsy goes to Harper. That was Turnbull to Harper. And Harper goes short, just a little kick to Logan Austin. Now Austin punches it forward, but it goes straight to Lewis Roberts Thompson. And well, that's a disappointing end to what I thought was a nice passage of play.
And that's what they have to get over, is they're going to be successful today. It's out to LRTs. He looks to come out towards that of Rowan, who somehow managed to find space and freedom. And he gets directed by Harris to move on to Bunyan, but Rowan, you watch him pinpoint this kick out of the back defensive 50. He goes long down the line, looks for about 65 metres, but it's a good grab taken there by Josh Haggerty in front of that of Thomas Head. So Haggerty, he goes down to Collins, Nick Collins in front of Lloyd, right on the interchange gates here at Kippax. 20 minutes gone. Collins shows a bit of candy towards Lloyd. He was tackled and dispossessed in a good tackle there. It'll be dropping the ball.
Now this is what we've seen. Just in back play, Lewis Roberts Thompson, he was in defence, now he's rushing forward. This is what Belconnen have got to be very careful of. Roberts Thompson has been given a licence to go forward here on the counter. So something that I think Belconnen need to be wary of is, fortunately for them, we see a stoppage in play and the ball now to be thrown in Swans territory. So dangerous for the Magpies, particularly when it's picked up by Jordan Weir, and a little 1-2 to Timmy Membrane. I think he's even missed that from about 10 metres out, Davo.
An uncharacteristic miss there from Membrane, so the pressure of Belconnen out towards Collins, who made that poor defensive error back there, tried to show a little bit of candy towards that of Jake Lloyd. He wasn't going to buy any of it, he just watched the hips and made a good tackle out towards Austin. He comes further afield towards Sharp. He takes a good grab in front of Lockyer. Matthew Sharp, the boy from Benalla, goes further afield there towards Des. Des right at centre wing. He comes further afield towards Haggerty, who's run on from half back. Haggerty goes down towards Harris. Unaccounted for, but it was a good punch away there by Alex Brown, the ever reliable Alex Brown. Punches it away from the diminutive Shane Harris. Boundary line throwing right near the Belconnen goals.
He's finding space nicely, Harris. He's been a real menace for the Swans' defence so far. They've got to watch him a little bit more closely than they are at the moment. Rohan brushes off a tackle, tries to get rid of it. He does so, but Belconnen have got it now. Armstrong's all over them. Armstrong with a great tackle to force the boundary, rather the ball up. And deep in Magpies territory. They'll certainly be looking for a couple of goals, or at least one, before the half-time break. And slammed to the turf there from Porter. It was one of the Swans. A little bit slow to get up. I think it was Thomas Head. As the ball travels further forward towards Swans goal, but still deep in Belconnen territory. Another ball up. Some strong tackling from Porter. Up goes Bennett. At the tap to it. Nice kick by Lloyd. Lloyd kicks it straight up. It's going to be a contest. I think it was LRT flying, but he didn't get it, and Belconnen have got the ball.
So free kick there towards Baker. It's Baker now who gets an opportunity to drive it in long towards that of, and that should be a free kick to the Belconnen boys, but it's out of bounds touched. So good defensive pressure there to Gary Rowan. As the Belconnen look to press, they need a much needed goal here at the 23-minute mark. It is the Swans by a 23, so it goes into no man's land, and it's a shark there by Logan Austin. Austin was caught high, and up high and low was Armstrong. He's in everything, Tony Armstrong for the Sydney Swans. Close to best man on the field up to half-time. Umpire throws it up, Bennett third man up, and it comes down towards Austin, who shuffles a quick one out towards Curtis. He's been close, and he pushes it through towards Des, and it was just touched through by Xavier Richards. So get out of jail there by the Swans, and a rush behind to the Belconnen Magpies.
Yeah, and all of a sudden now no players forward for the Swans, so every player on the field at the moment in the forward half of the Swans. We see a little bit sloppy there, Lloyd just didn't take it as the kick comes forward now. Oh, gee, they were lucky to get a push in the back there, the Swans. It was Lloyd Perris who got the call, and if he didn't get the call, I dare say Belconnen were ready to pounce. There's the Swans. Just being faced with some good solid pressure from the Magpies, just finding it difficult at the moment to bring it out of their own 50, and this is good pressure. It's got to have to be patient, as we saw a nice kick forward from Jaffa Williams, but it's now with Belconnen, and Jansen's got the ball, and he's going to go back. Nice mark taken by Simon Curtis.
Curtis, he's been very good for the Magpies. He goes long down the line, and that's a good grab taken there by Nick Collins. He's been another solid contributor, continuing on his good form throughout season 2013. He puts it long into the forward 50, looking down there for Des. It's taken away by Dick over to Paris, and it's matched up there by Dick as he gets his own football, and he takes it outside the forward 50, does Matthew Dick, and they drive it inside their 50 transition. It's over there towards Baker. Baker towards Curtis for the Magpies now as they go further afield. There's an umpire's whistle. What was that for? And it's going to come back.
It's going to come back to Loken. There was no one forward for the Swans there, Davo. The kick came up and towards goal. There was actually nobody forward to take that. That was an easy turnover for Belconnen.
Over towards Collins. Collins, he tries to jink one way. It was a poor disposal by foot there now as fighting on the ground there was, I think it was Lockyer on the ground there for the Sydney Swans, and it is Belconnen putting up a good fight. It's out there towards Baker. He dribbled one along the ground, a la Rugby League touchfinder style. You could have forgiven that you were at Allianz last night, but anyway, we're here at Kipax, quarter 2, 25 minutes gone. It is the Sydney Swans 7-3-45, Belconnen 3-5-23. We've got a game in our hands here at this Eastern Conference final. Hope you're enjoying the coverage through NEAFL.com.au. I'm Brett Davis, and with me today is Drury Forbes. It's out there towards Harper. Harper, he puts it under the chest of the Swans. I think it was Lockyer for the Sydney Swans. As they go long in towards the middle of the ground, it was punched away there by Belconnen, and it's Lockyer. So the other one, it was I think it was Dick, the one that put it through previously, out towards the speedy Jaffa Williams. He evades the tackle of Turnbull, just pushed off him, and it's taken away there by Jaffa Williams into the arms of Loken. Loken now gone down to the key defensive post with that earlier injury to it's out there towards Armstrong. Armstrong spots it up inside the forward 50, and he's found none other than LRT.
Oh, fantastic forward entry from the Swans there. Armstrong once again pinpoint with that kick, and Roberts Thompson's going to look to straighten up here, and a lovely kick from Roberts Thompson, who's going to find, I think it might be Membray, and Membray, well, he missed that one earlier from a few metres out, but certainly set shot almost directly in front. You wouldn't go against him kicking this one, Membray. We mentioned 7 goals last time against the Belconnen Magpies, and well, this would hurt heading into half-time, Davo.
Yeah, Belconnen will undo all of their good work, of course. The Sydney Swans have kicked 4 goals this quarter, though you wouldn't believe it. But that'd be their average. That's what they would have said at the beginning of the game. 4 goals a quarter. As we ride at home with Timmy Membray, does he like this one? No, he doesn't. He doesn't give the crowd a salute. He normally gives a fist pump to Tim Membray. That's 1-2 for Timmy Membray today. So it keeps the Belconnen Magpies in check there. They really need a much-needed goal. Haven't kicked one for this quarter yet during quarter 2. 28 minutes gone here at Kippax in Eastern Conference final day, and it's taken away there by Bone. It's taken away by Sharp. Sharp now gets it out there towards the Swans, and they work it through that man in Armstrong. Armstrong, he gets it across there towards Membray, the last goal kicker. He gets another one right on 50.
So Membray with a chance to atone for the previous kick. This one a little bit more difficult. He's going to probably have to kick this from 55. And the kick comes in. I tell you what, it might have gone over. No, it's just been touched. So that was a better kick than his previous one. And just got a touch in the end there. So the score now 7-5, 47 Sydney leading Belconnen 3-5, 23.
Over to my man Bugs Turnbull. There's a decision inside the back half. He brings it long down the line towards all of the supporter tents over there. Great to see the Giants out here representing, selling some merchandise from this, and it's out to Armstrong. He's been in everything for the Sydney Swans. He butters it up and gets the old 1-2, but there's an umpire's whistle. It's a free kick to the Swans, but there's the stroke of half time. There's the tugboat siren. It is the Sydney Swans 7-5-47, Belconnen 3-5-23. Drury Forbes. Sydney Swans controlling the game at this first half.
Well, they are controlling the game, David, but it doesn't really feel like they are as much as they are when you look at the scoreboard. So we've got another shot here after the siren. We'll just see what happens here. And he lines up. I think it might be good if it doesn't get touched. No, it's just hit the post. So another behind to be added for the Swans. They've now kicked 4-5 for the quarter to Belconnen's 1-2. There was actually a goal. Apologies to Belconnen, and we've just adjusted our scoreboard, so it's going to be 48-23 at the half, Davo. But as I was saying, I don't think the Swans should rest on their laurels just yet.
Yeah, Belconnen certainly making them work for every goal that they've had. It's just been through a couple of unlucky skill errors from the Belconnen side that's allowed Sydney to make the most of it and go forward and press for a goal. But nonetheless, they should be very, very proud of their efforts, the Belconnen Magpies. They're only 4 goals out of the contest here at Kippax. So it is the Sydney Swans currently leading 7-6-48. Of course, the winner gets to take on the winner of Aspley and the Brisbane Lions in the NEAFL Grand Final next week in Brisbane. Let's see if we can get a score update. Big third term for the Brisbane Lions as they're kicked away from Aspley. It's 92-55, so the winner may take on the Brisbane Lions from next week in the NEAFL Grand Final. But we'll be back here at after half time with all the action through neafl.com.au. Hope you're enjoying the coverage with Brett Davis and Drury Forbes. Strap yourself in for the second half. Premiership quarter coming up here from Kippax Oval. It is umpire Nathan Ellsworthy in the middle of the ground. It is the Sydney Swans 7-6-48, Belconnen 3-5-23. Umpire says I'll have it back for the bounce. Drury, what did you make of the first half?
Yeah, look, certainly encouraging signs there from the Magpies. As I said earlier, I don't believe this game is as far away from Belconnen as the scoreboard suggests, and maybe a couple of those behinds at the end, those misses from the Swans, just give Belconnen a glimmer of hope, and if they can start well here, they're a big chance. Davo, definitely.
As it's Sharp and puts the ball inside the forward 50, but intercepting umpire says it was touched into the hands there of Jordan Lockyer, and he was brought to the ground in a solid tackle by Chris York. The umpire says I'll have it just outside the forward 50. So we'll get a Banbury throw in. No, it's a ball up there and it's taken away there by Porter out there towards Lamb. I'm led to believe Rowan's been put in cotton wool. LRT's been put in cotton wool. Does that change the perspective of the game?
Well, it might very well do.
There you have it. So just towed off the ground there by Andrew Dest for a minor score. So that's the first score for quarter 3, and it's quickly brought in by the Swans as they come back through a Dick. And Dick brings the ball out there towards that of Turnbull, and he was pushed in the back. That should be a free kick. Well, there you go. Rowan's on the field, so he hasn't been cotton-wooled. So the male was wrong. And it's Rowan in. So that would indicate he needs to play minutes. Naismith to do battle with Porter. And it's grabbed out there by Jide Bone, shuffled out there by Naismith again, only as far as land. And it's run over the boundary line. And it is a boundary line thrown right in front of the commentary box here. 2 minutes gone. It is the Swans by 24 points.
Ball comes in now. Naismith and Porter, tapped by Porter, went straight to that of Simon Curtis. There's potentially a high tackle there though. It might have been okay and the umpire wants it. So 24 points the margin here as we get into the second half. There's 4 goals in it. Nice tap from Naismith, but it went straight to the Magpies and over the top looking for Curtis. And nice work there by Armstrong just to assist lock it in. We're going to see another boundary throw in. In fact, the ball's come loose. So the Swans are going to have an opportunity to come away. But great tackling once again. Can Belconnen turn this into points? They kick long. It's a one-on-one contest. But well done there at the back by Jordan Lockyer. And Lockyer is going to kick it away now. And I think that might be Roberts Thompson as well on that outer side there, kicking for Rohan there, Davo.
And there you go, so the mark was wrong, they haven't been cotton wool, they're both still out on the ground. That's a free kick to the Swans, holding the man without the ball, so it's Towers to take the free kick, right on centre wing. He brings the ball down there towards Rowan. The man with an electrifying set of wheels is Gary Rowan, and it'll be a free kick to the Swans right on 50 as they edge closer towards goal. They certainly haven't got some easy goals today, but they've just made the most of their opportunities as they bring it inside the forward 50. Big Naismith can't himself down there, but it's run away there by Turnbull, and it was a good slips catch out there by, I think it was Bone. No, it was Jansen out there, but they fight hard. They're fighting hard for every possession. The Belconnen Magpies, they've been gallant out there till half time. So it is a free kick out there to a Thomas Head, the number 59. Of course, not to be confused with Brad Plug. Thomas Head, he will get a kick right on that slippery corner. That'll be his third opportunity from exactly the same spot. He gets it high, up and under, and it's punched through the... no, it didn't go through. It's LRT out to Membray. Membray with a quick snap around the boot. Yes, Timmy Membray, he's second for the afternoon, and the Swans 8 as they power away here at Kippax Oval. 4 minutes gone as the Swans by 30 points.
Timmy Membray, any day of the week, loves it around the corner there. I think there might have been a touch of Nick Davis's forward coaching there, but Membray, nice snap around the corner, and Swans get the first goal of this second half. Nick Davis loves that, and so does the Swans. It's 8-6-54, a 3-6-24 to the Magpies.
Interesting, it opens the angle up for them when they do that. So Nick Davis was probably the exponent of kicking around the corner like that. He taught the Stevie J's and that of the world. He actually get the ball on a nice point. So it was good lead-up work there, and the ball failed to be punched dead by the Belconnen defenders, and that's a cardinal sin. Again, we talk about that little error, and it just results in a Sydney Swans goal. So they're just sweating on the Belconnen errors. It's out in the middle of the ground. It's Naismith who got a quick toe out there towards Jaffa Williams. Like his game in the middle of the ground. He's been busy. Out towards Roberts Thompson. Was punched away there by Browning now in the 65 and solidly bandaged. And that was a great tackle. Jaffa Williams, the young boy from the Sydney Uni. Yaron Jaffa Williams. He is small in stature but strong in heart. The umpire throws it up, and that is the umpire of the year in Paulie, and that'll be a free kick to Porter, who was pushed out of that contest. So free kick to Matthew Porter.
Porter now, he's got options. The Magpies, they need a quick goal here. They need to apply some scoreboard pressure, and a nice little kick forward taken by Lexi Bennett, the captain. He shapes one way, goes the other, got it off to Curtis. Curtis went forward to Love. Love with a mark right in the corner of Loken's pocket.
I'm not sure he's as good as Matthew Loken from that pocket, but not a noted goal kicker is John Love. He's been well held today, Matthew Loken. Of course, 68 goals to his name for season 2013. Yeah, he didn't back himself. He's gone to the prodigious kick in that of Curtis, the number 8. He can kick this from here. Don't worry about that, Simon Curtis. He should back himself from that situation. He is a good kicker of the football. Simon Curtis. He unloads, pulls the trigger and puts it right to the top of the square. We're looking for a big grab, but it was just killed there by the Sydney Swans defenders, and we will get a minor score. So the Swans get to bring it in through Armstrong. Armstrong brings it in towards that of Lockyer. Lockyer goes one way out there towards that of Brown. Brown comes long down the line looking for Membray. He was manhandled in that contest. But the speedy Yaron Jaffa Williams, he puts it down there only as far as Ryan Turnbull in front of Brandon Jack. So what have we got here? I think it's a free kick out to that of Logan Austin.
Yeah, Bugsy just kicking it forward for Logan Austin's free kick there. Austin's going to pump it long into the pack. Nice punch there coming over the top. Was one of the Swans players there, might have been Richards, and the ball's going to go out of bounds as we see Visic coming on, who had a great first quarter, Davo, I thought.
Yes, he did, certainly. Has been a handy late inclusion. The Swans, of course, we keep talking about their academy players, their ability to find this football factory and innate them or ornate them into this Bloods culture. So there's certainly a football factory down there in Sydney and that greater Sydney region. Of course, I think the Swans have got about 130 development officers on the ground throughout New South Wales. So who says football's not big business?
Certainly not me, Davo. I agree 130% with you as the ball comes away now with the Swans. Nice ball movement. They haven't had any trouble on this occasion coming out, and I think the nice mark out there by, I think it's Thomas Head, out there on the outer side, right there near the Bugsy Turnbull sign. Now a great centering kick straight away to Towers. Towers takes a bounce. He's on 50, pumps it long, pops it up nicely, looking for Membray. Membray, oh, brilliantly done and out mark there. Was that Des, David?
It was Jai Bohm.
Jai Bohm, lovely mark.
And it was a good grab there by Jordan Harper. Harper now long down the line.
Great kick.
And it was a great kick further afield, and he's found that of York. York now plunks it down to the throat of Isaac Taylor. So the youngsters combining well, the local juniors, and it's Taylor. He puts it inside the forward 50, looking for Bennett and Armstrong. And Bennett just dropped what he should have taken. It's taken away by LRT. Out towards Armstrong. He was off balance, but he still managed to get his kick away. Over there towards Jed Lamb, who found space unattended. Lamb goes further afield, but he's put it out of bounds on the full, and that's good pressure from the Belconnen defender.
Yeah, great pressure there. Armstrong once again on the spot for the Swans, and uncharacteristic there from Lamb. Gives the Magpies another opportunity to press forward. And now we see every player in Belconnen's half. And just cut off there by Thomas Head. Head's going to go short there to Lockyer. Lockyer goes back to Armstrong. Armstrong's going to find Roberts Thompson, who gets the hand pass away. It ends up in the back in the hands of Jordan Lockyer. He's going to take a bounce here. He's got a little bit of attention. Might have to go back to Roberts Thompson. He gives it to Armstrong. And Armstrong's going to put on the boot. It's a one-on-one contest there. Umpire says that was fair play on. And it's going to result in a boundary throw-in.
So right under the Delicious Pie sign here at Kippax Oval, 10 minutes gone, Swans 1 goal, Belconnen yet to trouble the major scorers for quarter 3. Of course, they call this the premiership quarter. What are they going to pull out of the bag? They need Loken to lift. They need a few more players to lift around them. That was Taylor who put it inside there. It was a grubber kick there for Lexi Bennett. Have fun getting that one out of the ground here at Kippax. The umpire says, what's he going to do here? I think he'll ping him for holding the ball. Yes, he will. Armstrong, the recipient of that, he's been close to best on the ground, Tony Armstrong, and that's a 50-metre penalty against Lexi Bennett for abuse. You can't do that, Drury.
No, well, you certainly can't. We've all learnt, but you cannot talk to the umpires. So Armstrong, we've mentioned he's just about been the Swans' best thus far. We've still got a half to play. Roberts Thompson now with the mark, about 60 out. He's going to dish off short here, looking for Membray. Oh, it was a great mark by Membray. Roberts Thompson, applause to you. Nice kick. And Membray is going to have an opportunity on this outer side to kick what would be his 3rd goal, I believe, Davo.
That is correct. He's kicked 2 goals, 3 to date. So Timmy Membray, the number 1, of course, continuing on that good form from Blacktown, where he was a major contributor to the Swans' last victory against Belconnen. Membray, 35 on a slight angle. I think he likes it off the boot. You betcha. He gives the fist pump. No, he doesn't. So he's kicked his 4th behind for the afternoon. Timmy Membray. So 2 goals, 4 to his name. That lets Belconnen breathe again. It's out towards Nick Collins. He tries to take on the would-be defender, and that was Towers out there, and Towers takes them on again. He got a quick handball out there towards Jack. Heard the voice inside to Lamb. Lamb out towards that of Rowan. Rowan took what would be a one-hander, but the clever Gary Rowan has banged it into the boundary line, and it'll be out of bounds on the full. Yeah, look, Timmy Membray not happy there. Jed Lamb just should have, he was under pressure in fairness to Jed, but he had Membray short, directly in front, about 15 out. Membray wasn't happy, and Rohan just unlucky there. Almost took a one-hander to Gary Rohan as the ball comes away now. 1-on-1, nice tap down there by Jai Bohm. And boundary throw in. You really get the feeling, don't you, Davo, that Belconnen desperate for the next goal. They certainly need to go back-to-back if they're going to have any impact here out of their home ground here in this Eastern Conference final. The Swans just a bit of one-way traffic and a bit of individual brilliance out towards Brandon Jack. He'll have no trouble in kicking the Swans 9th and his first of the afternoon. They just worked hard. They just kept pressing forward, and they get full reward for effort. The Sydney Swans 9-7-61, 3-7-25. 12 minutes gone in quarter 3 out here at Kippax on Eastern Conference final day.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to see any of those Jack boys on the left foot. They are lethal. And Brandon Jack, he's been impressive today. He's ran well and certainly getting his fair share of the footy. And Belconnen, well, there's still plenty of time. That's one thing going for them, but they really need to start applying some scoreboard pressure. Margin now 6 goals.
You just need to look at the Belconnen side, who's going to go out there and fly the flag. Certainly, there's not a lot of talk out there. They really need to have someone who's going to stand up and say, well, you're going to ride home with me. So it's not through without the lack of trying, but Belconnen, they do look a little bit flat out there, Drury.
Easy win there to Naismith, but he backed it up with the tackle on Jai Bohm as we see another one by Ellsworthy. But once again, Naismith involved. Kick by Robinson. It goes forward. Thomas Head is there. Got a little bit of a bump, but it was good enough. And a lovely mark at the back there by Baker. And Baker's going to kick it on the forward. Doesn't muck around. And fantastic body work there as well by young Logan Austin.
It's Austin who brings it long down the line. He's looked like a likely type out there as Logan Austin. Out there towards Lexi Bennett. He brings it around the corner out there towards York. York now over the top there, looking down there for Harris. The diminutive Shane Harris. He's certainly been quelled after the 3 early goals. On his knees was Sharp. He fed it out towards Loken, and it goes over the for behind there. So Matthew Loken not really troubling the scores with the majors today. So the Swans bring it in quickly, and it's a mark there by Robinson. Dan Robinson, the 27 NEAFL player of the NEAFL team of the year.
He's only 19 years old, Davo.
He's been a star for them this year. Don't worry about that. It's out towards Jordan Weir, wearing the number 60. Weir goes long down the line. Looking down there for, I think it was Naismith and Membray, and it'll be a free kick to the Swans player.
Free kick, yeah. Thomas Head there. We'll get the free kick.
Yes, it is. It's
the imposing figure that he is, Thomas Head. And Head kicks the ball forward. And there's a few Swans. Oh, what a spectacular mark. Gee, that was a fantastic. I think it was Dean Towers, certainly living up to his name there. But why would you play on when you take a specky like that?
He certainly could have been a contender for Mark of the Year, was Dean Towers. That's one of the best ones we've seen, but he elected to play on, didn't want to live in his glory, scaling those heights. So it's over towards Curtis with a scrubby kick off the boot. It's taken a wicked bounce there for Bone. They look flat on their legs to the Belconnen Magpies. It's over towards Hegarty. He showed a bit of candy to Naismith. Naismith. Now he comes further afield. He goes in towards Curtis. He got a quick handball away over there towards that of Harper, over to Love. Love with another handball over towards Bunyan. Bunyan leads the foot race from Spinks. Bunyan now inside the forward 50, looking for Harris, but on this occasion, too good was Stevie Ray.
So the Swans now, once again, not wasting any time bringing out their defence. As Paris with a nice kick finding Rohan just about on the centre circle there. Rohan, he kicks it forward now, looking for, well, I think it was Towers again up forward, but it's just come down now. Could be an opportunity for Membray here. Membray with a nice little hand pass over the top, looking for Lloyd. Ball comes to ground, but it's all Swans. So the big man, Naismith, has popped it on the boot. Tried the banana, and it's just going to go through for a minor score.
So got a score out of Brisbane from the Northern Conference, of course, awaiting the NEAFL Grand Final. They're going to play the Brisbane Lions as they've gone back-to-back. They've beaten the Aspley Hornets 19-11-125 to 11-13-79. So the might of the Lions up there, of course, with a number of their players wanting to head home, a number of their listed players, it's out towards Bennett. Bennett with a quick handball back from Bohm, out there towards his brother in Alexander Bennett. He comes along down the line and drives it inside the forward 50. Who's he looking for? There's space at the back of the pack. It's over towards Harris. He was pushed in the back, but he's gone to ground and it's been rushed through for a minor score.
And just a correction there, Davo, back up the other end. It was actually out of bounds on the full, not a behind to the Swans, so they're still on 61, however, Belconnen just with the behind now moving to 27.
Well, it's in through, they've come through the centre of the corridor. That's exactly what they didn't want. It's into the arms of Towers. He doesn't play on this occasion, Dean Towers. He'll go back and line up what could be Sydney's 10th, and could it be the sealer for the Swans in 18 minutes of football, quarter 3. I know it's early to call, but Belconnen look flat on their legs out there, Drury.
Well, just on Towers, great grab early. It's an unwritten law in AFL, isn't it, Davo? You take a specky, regardless of the situation, you go back so we can see the replay.
Absolutely, Drew, but I was never lucky enough to get off the ground that much, so... Anyway, that's out of bounds on the full for Dean Towers. He certainly doesn't back his ability in front of goal, but it's Jai Bohm, the recipient of the free kick. Bohm comes long down the line towards Curtis. He's been one of Belconnen's best today. They say you save your best game for last. Simon Curtis is certainly doing that today. He's been very good out there for Belconnen. He goes long down the line. He puts it down towards the interchange gates. Getting up high there was that of Jordan Weir, but it's just punched over for a boundary line throw-in right in front of the interchange gates. It is the Sydney Swans out here in Eastern Conference Finals Day. The crowd's been silenced, Drury. Certainly out here at Kipax, haven't they?
Well, there's quite a few of them on the Scooby-Doo jumping castle at the moment, Davo. I'm sure you and I'd be there if we weren't here, but let's not write off Belconnen just yet.
It's out towards that of Loken and Harris. Harris fighting hard for the ball. Brown, he butters up his work. Loken tries to trap the ball inside of him there. There's a little bit of a scuffle develops between those two as Loken and Brown. I think Brown's had the better of that duel today. Don't worry about that. He's a good defender, is Alex Brown.
He certainly is. And Alex Brown, I think he wants to let Loken know how unhappy he was at having his head dumped into the turf as Loken pops it back, centres it fortuitously for the Magpies, but it's going to come away with Jaffa Williams now, puts it straight on the boot. Membray looking to bet there first. So was Hiscox. And nicely picked up though in Belconnen. Johnny Love was there in support, elected not to use him. Didn't go 15 and wasn't marked. Johnny Love tries to get boot the ball, but Naismith was there on the spot. It comes through the hands now through Richards, and Richard goes on now to Armstrong, who finds a nice kick forward. And the Swans just going to start chipping it around now. Armstrong goes forward again, and there's a nice little mark there by Hiscox, who's getting involved, and he's going to go short now. And the Swans, they'll get another mark through Jake Lloyd.
Lloyd with a quick handball over the top there, and it's through the run there of Hiscox, who receives the handball back. Jake Hiscox, and that's just punched and battered away by Andrew Browning for a minor score over to Rose O'Day. Great to see Rose O'Day, the female goal umpire, appointed today. So that's outstanding work for her from season 2013. Curtis brings the ball in quickly out towards Austin.
She could be the next Chelsea, Dover.
Yeah.
Well, the way Chelsea's going, she'll get the grand final.
Yeah, Chelsea Roffey, of course. She's been a great... I guess a advocate for women in umpiring fraternity, and I reckon it's absolutely fantastic to see, Drury. But it's out there, and it's out there taken there by, I think it's Jansen. He's got in support of Jordan Harper as he gets an opportunity to run and bounce now. Jordan Harper, that's his second bounce. Geordie Harper, he brings it right inside the forward 50 now, looking for Shane Harris, who's marked in front of Stevie Ray. It's one of the rare occasions he's got away, though he's got 3 goals to his name. He hasn't been that good on the lead today as Shane Harris.
Yeah, former Mulrooney medalist looking for his 4th goal. In the pocket, right next to the Bugsy Turnbull sign and the Scooby-Doo jumping castle. What can Harris conjure up deep on the boundary line? It looks good off the boot. He's just weighing it back. I think he's kicked this, Davo. Harris has kicked 4.
That was a great kick from Shane Harris. It was one of the rare times he got away on the lead today. So he kicked 3 opportunist goals prior to that. So Shane Harris is proving a real handful, and a real small forwards game from him today with 4 goals. You know, he's kicked the entire Belconnen goals today, Drury.
Well, he certainly has. Not only that, he's kicked the first goal for Belconnen in each quarter.
And there you have it. So some interesting statistics here from Kipax Oval. Quarter 3, 21 minutes gone. Hope you're enjoying this coverage. Eastern Conference final day, of course. Many followers around the globe, Drew. You've got a number of tweets throughout the week from all over the place. People in Amsterdam and so forth getting up in the middle of the night to tune in just to hear our dulcet tones through NEAFL.com.au. It's been great fun bringing in the broadcast week in, week out through season 2013. It's over towards Hegarty. He takes them on now, and he's got Curtis in support. He has been Belconnen's best today. As Simon Curtis, as he takes a second bounce, he drives it long inside the forward 50. Is he looking for a goal? But it was batted away, double-handed by Alex Brown, and that'll be a minor score for the Magpies. So they really needed back-to-back goals there, didn't they?
Yeah, fantastic work from Alex Brown, rather. Alex Brown, he's such a reliable defender for this Swans reserve side, isn't he? He's a fantastic player. And I think probably goes unnoticed. Certainly underrated is Alex Brown. He's fantastic there at the back for the Swannies.
He's certainly not underrated in my opinion, but he would go under the radar of many sides. He just doesn't stop. He does rarely get beaten, does Alex Brown. So it's Porter to do battle there with Head. It's out towards Love, shuffled it out towards Collins. Collins with a quick one over to Harper. Harper now back towards Hegarty. He's been a good contributor for the Magpies today. Out there towards Sharp. It was smothered there by Jaffa Williams. He's been everything, Yaron Jaffa Williams, of course, the Sydney Uni product. And what are we going to call here? The umpire's going to call holding the ball. Umpire Brent Pauly, I think it is out there. He's called holding the ball. Free kick, Matthew Sharp, Magpies. So he drives it inside the forward 50, looking there for Des. Oh, no, it was Bennett, under the number 11 in Jed Lamb.
Great kick.
And he's found that of, it was Brandon Jack. No, it wasn't Brandon, it was Lloyd Paris, and it was out to Jaffa Williams. He just slotted one through, and it's going to through for a no score. After a little bit of soccer out there, a la Lionel Messi.
Naismith off the ground. He's just been told to go forward only a few minutes ago. That would have been quite a goal, Davo.
That it was. It was spinning and spinning and spinning like a top, but it's out towards Porter, who tried to bat it down there, and he did. He did well to Taylor there. So it's only as far as that of Hiscox, and it's taken away there by the Swans forward. Out towards Membray. Membray and Jaffa Williams spoiled each other. That was Membray's ball. Jaffa Williams, he probably got a mouthful for that one. Out towards Brandon Jack. Jack is courted by Turnbull and Bennett, and was still good enough to get the handball away. Out there towards that, and that should be a free kick there. He's dove into his back. Out there, there's that close quarters out towards Robinson. Robinson has a line-up, and Dan Robinson, the number 27, he gets his first for the afternoon. No, his second is Dan Robinson. So well done to the Sydney Swans in close quarters there as they kick their 10th. 10-8-68, doubling that of Belconnen, 4-10-34. 34 points the margin here at Kipax. 25 minutes gone on North Eastern Conference final day here in Kipax. The sun's still shining. Looks like a Simpsons day out there in the sky, doesn't it, Drury?
It certainly does. And there we just saw an example of the skills of the Sydney Swans. I mean, there was a passage of about 5 or 6 hand passes there. Fantastic awareness, slick hands, executed well. And then we saw a great finish by the 19-year-old.
It's Head in the middle of the ground with Porter. Head, and it's taken away by Sharp as the hooter comes out. He's Jotham here from Collingwood. As the hooter comes out, it's out towards Bennett. He shuffles it forward now, and I think that was Austin that got a quick kick on the boot out there towards that of Des, but it was cleaned up by the ever-reliable Alex Brown.
Jaffa Williams.
It's out towards Jaffa Williams in front of Turnbull. Been in everything today, Jaffa Williams, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He's had a strong game. As we see Membre's bodywork off the ball has been tremendous today. Thomas Head pursuing the ball. Swans now, can he get it back in play? He can't. And we'll see a boundary throw in. But Membre has been impressive both occasions. We've seen the Sydney side play Belconnen recently, as we see Head go head-to-head with Porter, but chiming in nicely there was Towers. Belconnen with the kick away. Going forward, is it going to bounce in the field of play just for a boundary throw-in? 10-8-68, plays 4-10-34. And if Belconnen had kicked a little straighter, Davo, we'd actually have a much closer game on our hands.
That we would have. They certainly haven't been disgraced. It's just it's a game of opportunity, and the Swans have taken all their opportunities today. Armstrong's tackled there, and a solid tackle there from the Belconnen boys. That's one feature of their game, has been their tackling pressure. Belconnen certainly have applied it to the Sydney Swans today. They'll know they've played a game of footy come the final siren. Don't worry about that. It's Head to do battle with Porter. And it is Armstrong in there fighting for it again. He's been close to the Swans' best on ground. There's Tony Armstrong. And what's the umpire called here? He's called a holding the ball against Tony Armstrong. A couple of interesting decisions holding the ball. And it's Dominic Bunyan, the former rugby league product. The boutique small forward, Dom Bunyan, right on the NEAFL sign. He kicks it long inside the forward 50. He kicks it down towards Loken, who was double teamed by Richards and Brown. He ain't got much hope there against them two defenders, has he, Drury? As the siren sounds for the end of the third quarter, and in the 27-minute mark, it is the Sydney Swans by 34 points, 10-8-68, lead Belconnen 4-10-34. What have Belconnen got to do to get back into a Drury?
Well, they certainly need the first goal in the last quarter, Craig. Tavo, but mate, they've got to just kick straighter, I think. You know, present up forward. We need to see a little bit more from Loken. Harris has been great. He needs some supporting cast up front for the Magpies, but stranger things have happened, Davo. They're certainly in this Belconnen. The first goal in this last quarter will be absolutely crucial.
There you have it. So they're certainly within striking distance, but it's going to take a Herculean effort from the Magpies. And I think the kicking to the scoring end will bring you back with all the action in quarter four here from Kipax on Eastern Conference final day.
Moments away from the fourth and final quarter here this afternoon at Kipax. It's the Sydney Swans leading Belconnen 10-8-68, playing 4-10-34 at the moment. Who will be the Eastern Conference champion? Well, at the moment the Swans are in the box seat, but I'm sure Belconnen will have something to say about that. Still just below 6 goals the margin, so they will have to start kicking some goals straight off the bat, Belconnen, but stranger things have happened, Davo.
Absolutely, they need to really go back-to-back goals and make it a contest and put a little bit of doubt in the opposition's mind. That's something they haven't done today, is put doubt in the opposition's mind. They looked a little bit shaky to start, the Swans. They haven't had it all on their own terms. That's one thing they have done, is not allowed Sydney to come back through the corridor. So that's been a win for Belconnen, but their inability to score when going forward's been their major problem, Drury.
Absolutely. I'm sure, no doubt, Coach Loken will be looking to get more involved. A little bit of frustration settling in with Alex Brown in that third quarter. But I'm sure Loken will be keen to get involved. And Harris has been a real revelation up forward in this particular game. No surprises there for Belconnen. He's kicked all 4 of their goals thus far. As we see Liam Rowe about to get us underway in this fourth quarter here at Kipax. Eastern Conference final. And it's Porter versus Naismith as Rowe gets us underway. Nice little tap by Naismith, although Belconnen's going to come down with Curtis. Curtis has been one of Belconnen's best this afternoon. He kicks forward looking for an early touch from Loken. Just couldn't get it cleanly. Spinks is there for the Swans. He's going to handball back to Lockyer. Lockyer getting it away now to Xavier Richards. But Richards' kit is going to be cut off there by Curtis.
Curtis now, he's been a star for Belconnen all day. He needed to deliver that properly. It's out towards Loken. Loken quickly onto the left boot. He puts it down there looking for a mark there towards Des. It's out there towards that of Harris. Can he bob up with another one? Shane Harris. He was collared there by Xavier Richards. Which way is umpire Nathan Ellsworthy going to see this? He says, no way out of there. I'll have it. Thank you very much. 25 metres from the Belconnen goal. He throws it up. It is Naismith. And as they fight, it's out through Lockyer, who puts a big up and under. Get under that one, boys. It's out towards Jaffa Williams, out towards Curtis. Get it on the boot, son. He pulls the trigger on it. The Simon Curtis. He puts it down towards the goals, but it's punched away there by the ever-reliable Tony Armstrong for a minus score.
Tony Armstrong. He's been my best so far for the Swans, Davo. He's been fantastic for him back there. It was a nice kick forward. He needed to get on a touch on that, and he did. Now he goes short to Lamb for the 1-2, gets it back, and long by Armstrong, looking for Naismith. A few flying, including Thomas here. They couldn't come down with it. And great tackle by Brendan Jack on Jai Bohm. Is he going to get rewarded? He's not going to. But Brendan Jack there, of course, son of Gary, former Balmain Tigers legend. Great tackle there. Spinks tries to get the punch away to no avail. Jed Lamb was there. Jaffa Williams tackling hard. Belconnen, though, fantastic work. They come away with it. It's going to be a nice grab by Des, who flicked it inside to Lexi Bennett. Lexi Bennett just couldn't dispose cleanly, and Jake Lloyd tried to get in there. It's going to come away through Robinson, who goes to Lamb. Lamb with a nice handball away back to Lloyd. It's a hot footy at the moment. Belconnen couldn't get the kick. Des missed the hand pass. And umpire's going to say Spinks there, just in the back against Des there, Davo. So maybe a fortuitous call there for Belconnen, which gives them an opportunity.
Right on the Sydney Swans logo, Andrew Des, of course, Goal of the Year recipient, Team of the Year member as well. He's had an outstanding season in 2013. It's out there towards a youngster in Jansen. Jansen brings it across the ground over to another youngster in Collins, one of their 11 local juniors. He's been collared a couple of times today, trying to beat them rugby league style. It's out towards Browning. Of course, he's changed numbers. He's ripped off the headgear, big Browning. Copped a nasty eye wound earlier in the thing. He must have been stapled up there at three-quarter time. It's out there towards Bennett, punched away by Richards, and it's going to be punched away too far, and it'll go over the boundary line for a boundary line throw in. 3 minutes gone. It is the Sydney Swans leading by 33.
Ball to come in now. The defence for the Swans have been superb today, really limiting Belconnen's opportunities inside their forward 50. They're coming away now through Harper, who got it away nicely. Gee, great pressure there by, I think it was Jaffa Williams. So Magpies forced to go back now, almost to smother. Good effort by Jordan Weir, and they're going to come away with it now, the Swannies. It was a lovely kick forward, and they're going to, nice little hand pass over. Now Roberts Thompson, little 1-2 with Paris. He's going to go forward back to Roberts Thompson. Is he going to go back to Paris? Yes, he is. Paris, he edges forward for the 50, goes long, looking for Membray, and just couldn't get the ball down, and the Magpies, they've got it.
It's out towards that of Baker. Baker puts it down towards that of Bohm. Bohm now goes long out towards Porter. Ruckman to Ruckman. And it's going for out of bounds on the full, I think, by Porter. So it'll be a free kick to Armstrong. Really liked Armstrong's game today for a couple of reasons. He was defensive good when the pressure was on, but he also kept the Swans in the game when the pressure was on through his attacking stuff. But it's just landed in the arms of Timmy Membray, and he snaps it around the corner only for a minor score. So that's his 5th minor. He's reversed the trend on last start. Don't worry about that. And I'm sure he would have liked a repeat effort at Blacktown, but not to be today. He's still been a solid contributor, the number 1 for the Sydney Swans in Tim Membray. Of course, plenty of Swans supporters here today, Drury. We're enjoying this beautiful Canberra weather here in this late September. It's out towards Bohm. Of course, the Swans still alive. Go to Fremantle next week in the big gig. So it's out towards Armstrong, and he takes a well-earned chest mark there in front of Dominic Bunyan. Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Davo, and Tony Armstrong. Whenever he's been called upon today, forward or back, he has been superb and extremely accountable as well. As we see Spinks kick forward, he's looking for Thomas Head. Head was able to get a touch to it. He had a 2-on-1 against him, but the Magpies going to come away with it. Nice kick, looking for James Bennett, the Mulrooney medalist. They're still on their feet, the Magpies. They've got an opportunity now. Coming back to Curtis. He got the hand pass away. There's a chance now. Nice little chip looking for Des.
And Des with a lovely mark. Lovely mark, about 45 out. Will probably kick right on the 50. But an opportunity for the first time today for the Magpies to get the first goal of a quarter.
And breaks Shane Harris's goal scoring feats, being the only Magpie goal scorer to date. 5 minutes gone. Andrew Dess they need to go bang bang quickly, don't they, the Belconnen Magpies? So Andrew Dess sliding in on his knees, Armstrong on the mark, kicks it. Does he like it, Andrew Dess? No, I don't think he does. It just waved away. No, it does. Somehow it goes through. He didn't like it off the boot. He didn't look overly happy. But goal umpire Rose O'Day does, and she puts both fingers out for full reward.
Lovely kick. Yeah, he looked a little bit hesitant, didn't he, Des, as to whether he liked that kick or not. But just sneaking through there. Great goal for Belconnen, and the crowd certainly appreciative of that. And the scoreboard not looking so bad now, Davo. We've got a margin of 28 points. And whilst certainly a challenge, not impossible.
Of course, awaiting the winner here today for the NEAFL Grand Final, awaiting the Brisbane Lions. Will it be the Swans? Will it be the Magpies? The Lord will only know, but that's a quick clearance out of there by Lloyd. Lloyd puts an up and under out there towards Jansen, is taken away by LRT. He's been quite good, sold a bit of candy to the crowd there, put it inside the forward 50 to the diving Membre, but guess who's following it up? The speedy Brandon Jack. He evaded a would-be Belconnen defender, got a quick handball away. Of course, the son of a gun, being Gary Jack, and the brother of a brilliant player in Kieran Jack. He was phenomenal last night, Drury.
He was tremendous, Kieran Jack. He's right up there, isn't he, this year for the best and fairest for the Swans with Hanbury. But look, great bloodlines. Obviously, son of Gary and brother of Kieran, and also Reece Jack, who played a lot of rugby league as well. We see another goal to the Swans here, Davo.
Dean Towers with a snap out of the pack. I think that's his second for the afternoon, is Dean Towers. And that was a great snap there from Towers. I think it was Towers that got the goal. But nonetheless, the Swans with a quick reply against the Magpies to thwart any thought of a comeback here at Kippax Oval on Eastern Conference Final Day, Drury.
Yep, nice goal. It's not for the first time. Not the first time today we've seen from a boundary throwing deep in their forward 50. The Swans have just been too slick for the Magpies and got a nice cheap goal from their perspective. But Belconnen, still plenty of time. We're going to see Porter here up against young Thomas Head. And Porter wins it. Nice bounce to the Magpies. There's all Swans there. Quickly on the boot, going forward. Just couldn't get the bounce there, Brandon Jack, and running onto it now. The Swans, it's one-on-one. And Membre's in there with a tackle. And, well, a little bit of argy-bargy. Jack Baker didn't like it. But a good tackle from Membre. We see a ball up.
And it is Head to do battle with Porter, and it was taken away there by Sharp. At the bottom of every pack today is Matthew Sharp, the boy from Benalla, out towards that of Loken, down towards that of Dess. Of course, the last goal scorer for the Magpies out towards Xavier Richards. He's been a rock down there for the
Did well
Swans.
there, Richards.
And Richards out there towards another solid contributor in Lamb. It's certainly been their senior players today that have got them over the line. The Lambs, the Rowans, the LRTs, the Armstrongs. They've been quite brilliant. Towers has been also very good. But that's a good grab showing his senior experience between two defenders. LRT, is he going to Perth next week? Drury Falls.
Well, he's gotten 4 quarters with no Kurt Tippett. He could very well be the missing piece of the puzzle, and look, certainly the fact that he is out there playing 4 quarters suggests to me that he's definitely in calculations, particularly replacing Kurt Tippett. We know he can play forward as well.
Certainly he was credited with straightening the Swans up earlier in the season. Does he like that one? I think the goal umpire likes that one. Yes, he does. LRT, that's his second. He's been a very good contributor for the Swans out there today. He hasn't run out of puff. Of course, they go to take on the Dockers in the big dance. But it's a 40-point margin. I think that's just about it for the Magpies, unless a miracle as he comes from the ground. But it might be timely to thank a few people that have helped throughout season 2013. Of course, to all the players that have contributed on and off the field. You've been most magnificent. Without this, we wouldn't have a game. But to the injured players that have helped throughout season 2013 in the commentary box, Paul Netting, the Mitchell Frales, the Josh Moody's, the Shane Harrises. We've gained a wonderful insight. Of course, Ian Muir filled in admirably on a couple of occasions, but it's been great getting to know them and getting a player's perspective on the football. But it's out towards Towers in the middle of the ground as he sets sails and pulls the trigger on that one. And is it going to land in the arms of the number one? You betcha, Timmy Membray, as Towers pulled the trigger and made it go 65 metres. And you just want to hope that the Belconnen players don't put the white flag up, Drury.
Oh, and they certainly won't, Davo. That was just all class from Towers there in the centre, and Membray. No surprise to see him on the end of that one, which should be slightly around the corner. He might try the banana here.
He goes with the traditional drop punt. He puts the fist up to let us know that's his third. 3 goals 5 for Timmy Membray today as the Swans power here in this Eastern Conference final. They're going to atone for last year's loss against Tigers there at Marnica, where they were convincingly beaten after not losing a game all season. They're going to continue their undefeated record through season 2013. Full credit to the Sydney Swans coaching staff. They've done a magnificent effort with all of their players that they worked with through season 2013. And it certainly promotes the competition, Drury, and it raises the bar each and every time the opposing clubs go out onto the ground.
Oh, look, absolutely. You know, it's the Canberra clubs are always right up there. You know, it's a great thing for AFL, certainly on the East Coast, that we can have the likes of your Belconnens, your Ainsleys, your Queanbeyans playing against the Sydney Swans reserves. And you can see that they certainly do have a very healthy comp down here in Canberra.
Yeah, and it's taken away there by Lamb. Lamb gets it down to the last goal scorer in Membray. He wants to add to that tally. He gets a little alley-oop over the back of his head out there towards Jansen. He's been solid out there as Chris Jansen, another one of the youngsters for Belconnen. That's been impressive for the Magpies. They can take plenty of heart out of their efforts in season 2013. Of course, Jimmy Bennett was the Mulrooney medalist. Of course, his father, David Bennett, was inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's been close to Belconnen's best, out to another one who's been a solid performer in Hegarty. Hegarty now a little bit of a tide kick back towards that of Curtis, the man who he got it off, out towards Brandon Jack. He's pushing for a senior recall, but it's gone down to Loken. Loken goes long down the line, looking down there for Logan Austin. Austin takes it on his chest. He comes quickly inboard, and he goes long down the line, looking down there for a mark from John Love, but it was punched away there by, I think it was Alex Brown. The ever-reliable Alex Brown got a pat on the back from Sammy Naismith and said, "Great work, son. You've been fantastic all year." Al Brown, take a bow.
Well, talk about Swans best. Alex Brown has been right up there. Alex Brown and Xavier Richards, when he's been on, has been tremendous for them as well. We mentioned Armstrong. We mentioned that man, Thomas Head. And the Swans an opportunity to come away now through Peris. Peris pumps it forward. Just couldn't take the mark there, Jaffa Williams, but he'll back it up with a second effort. Here comes Jordan Weir. It's just sprayed slightly to the right. He's going to try and follow that up. It's just going to go out in the full. But the most pleasing thing for John Longmire this afternoon, Davo, is really has been a lot of contributors that have performed so well for this Swans reserve side.
No, I think the other thing that the Swans have shown this year is they're rewarding the form of the youngsters in the NEAFL competition. We saw Biggs make and we saw Cunningham make senior grade on last night. So they'll show no favouritism whatsoever. If they're ready to play senior football, you will get a game, and that's reward for effort. So, and they've shown that throughout season 2013. But it's into another man that's played a few games up there as Lamb. Lamb puts it down there towards that of the big Thomas Head, right on cue. Tommy Head.
Geez, bulked up, hasn't he?
Thomas Head with a great grab there. And he just put the big go-go's up and it's stuck. He's a likely looking footballer. He's quite athletic, is Thomas Head. So he gets an opportunity for his first for the afternoon. And the Swans 14th. And does he like it? You betcha. Tommy Head. He gets a pat from his fellow teammates. So that's the Swans 13th. I think that's the nail in the coffin for the Magpies. Drury Forbes, as we see the jumping castles that will leave the ground. We don't get to go and have a bounce around. Of course, we're going to bring you up to date with all the interviews. Stay tuned. Stay on board because we'll watch the presentations through NEAFL.com live. Don't worry about that. And if you can't stay in tune, don't forget to join Fiona Nelson for NEAFL TV and what will be a wrap-up of season 2013. And of course, next week, the North Eastern Football League Grand Final. Will it be the Swans and the Lions? I can safely say it probably will be, because the Brisbane Lions have won the Northern Conference Final today. So it's out there towards that of, oh, that's a good grab there from Ray in front of Harris, and he just fed it away there, over there towards that of, it was Dick. Dick ran it down the line out towards the speedy Jaffa Williams. He's pursued by another speedster in Bugsy Turnbull, and it's going to beat them all. No, Chris Jansen bent down and picked that one up, and he put it across to Brown, and Browning now for the Magpies. He does a little chip across to Baker. Baker stands composed and puts it across to Collins. Nice to see the youngsters combining. They haven't wilted under pressure out there towards Loken. They'll get a lot out of today, the Belconnen boys. Don't worry about that. It's out towards Loken. He goes back towards Collins. Collins goes long down the line, and it's over there towards Andrew Dess.
Andrew Dess with a nice mark. This is better from Belconnen. I've seen them do this a few times today. Just kick it around. The Swans, their defence today, the Swans, has been very stingy, only allowing the 5 goals. So Belconnen just have to be patient when they've got it. Nice handball over the top from Bugsy Turnbull. Ends up in the arms of well, it was with Lexi Bennett, but the Swans are going to come away with it now, and it goes inside to Lockyer. He's going to chip forward to Towers. Did it go 15? He plays on anyway, the big fella. Towers pumping it forward for Naismith. Naismith's going to take the mark and kick it through for the Swans' 15th goal this afternoon.
Oh, well called, Drury Forbes. Big Naismith. He gets his first for the afternoon, and the Swans 15th as they power away here at Kepax. They're taking on the Brisbane Lions in the NEAFL Grand Final next week. Don't worry about that. They're making a tune for their season of disappointment last year. It'd certainly be burning in the back of their mind some of these players that have backed up. But full credit to the Sydney unit. They've been absolutely fantastic through season 2013. Of course, a couple of other thank yous to all the football managers from the NEAFL clubs for their assistance in season 2013. James Kavanagh, who did a game early whilst he was injured in Sydney. It was great to have their insight. So full credit to all the guys for wanting to participate in neafl.com.au. And of course, Geagle Productions, my good mate Andrew Barnes on the camera. Great to have you back here, Barnesy. You do a sterling job. And of course, Clint Cody, who deputises on the occasions that Andrew can't be with us. And to all the commentators that have assisted throughout season 2013, I hope you've enjoyed the journey, enjoyed what is a great game, Australian rules football. But it's out there towards that of we.
So ball's going to come in bounds now for Armstrong. Now Armstrong's going to look long now. Nice kick, looking to find Stephen Ray, and he does that. Ray plays on straight away, looking for Brandon Jack. Nice mark by Jack, who just wants to settle. Going to go short now. He's going to find Jordan Lockyer, starting to creep forward, the backman in Lockyer. Now it's Matthew Dick. Matthew Dick, another top performer for the Swans today, as we see a centering kick now by Hiscox. And we've got a free kick. Umpire said a little bit of holding, and it's going to go against Naismith to Loken, who has moved back now. Of course, Belconnen, big blow earlier. Their key defender and named in the NEAFL Team of the Year, Cam Campbell, coming off early in the first half with what appeared to be a broken arm. So they really have been up against it early today, Belconnen. Of course, Cam Campbell, also the CEO and a leader on the field. So they've done well. In spite of that, of course, we mentioned Damien Hector as well. Training miss-up earlier in the week. But they find themselves inside 50 here. Now they've got Lexi Bennett calling for it long, and he's going to go that way. So Lexi Bennett coming across, looking for the specky. Can he get it? Lexi Bennett, they've played the mark, but a fantastic handball played on straight away. And wonderful work there from the Belconnen side. They kicked their 6th goal this afternoon.
Certainly haven't been disgraced. Andrew Dess was the recipient of a good grab there from Lexi Bennett. They've had a season to write home about the Magpies. Don't hold your heads low, hold them high, because I think you've carried the pride of Canberra today. Belconnen Magpies in what's been a fantastic year, of course, culminating in the opening of Kippax Oval through season 2013. And, you know, to have the grand final showcased here today just shows what wonderful work the Belconnen Football Club have done, for not only for football here in Belconnen, but the greater football community, and allows, you know, everyone to participate. And I think it's just a wonderful thing. So, and great work to the Belconnen Football Club.
And just a great atmosphere too. The family, community type feel that you really get when you come to this ground. Everyone's been sensational. I must say, one of the best canteens I've ever come across too, Davo.
Yeah, we've given a good hit today, Drury. Don't worry about that.
I know Andrew Barnes, our cameraman, speaks very highly of the canteen here at Kippax, thanks to Belconnen.
Best in the comp.
It is the best in the competition, so full credit to them, as they would have run out of Kranskis and pies today. Don't worry.
I saw you tucking into a Kransky earlier, Davo.
Next to the big fella scoffing one down too, but I think it's Jake Lloyd. We'll follow it home with Lloyd. Lloyd outside 50 puts the head down, but only a minor score. So the Sydney Swans hit the triple figures: 15-10-100, 16-11-47. So they certainly bridged the gap, the Magpies, on the last start up there at Blacktown.
Absolutely, an improvement from the Magpies today, based on the 2 prior performances, that's for sure. As the Magpies bring it away, looking for Des. Kick just going over the top, will be a boundary thrown, but certainly a much improved performance. Davo, as you mentioned, the margin being on average around 100 points. The previous 2 occasions these 2 sides have met this year. Belconnen having a stellar regular season with a 12-win and 6-loss record, just missing out to the Sydney Swans reserve side on percentage for that top spot. So they've had a fantastic year, Belconnen, let's not forget that, and certainly up against it today with a couple of late injuries. We mentioned Hector during the week and Cam Campbell. Not a lot of luck for them. So let's see how they're going to finish their season. The ball comes out to Bugsy Turnbull. One of your favourites, Davo. Turnbull with the ball, really assessing his options. He decides to go long to the outer side. It's a great kick. Des is going to come over the top here, and a great mark to Des. Umpire paid it, but he played on, similar to what we saw from Lexi Bennett earlier. And the Magpies, well, it doesn't look like he wants to take this shot, Brett.
He's probably a bit out of range for Isaac Taylor, but the son of a gun, Isaac Taylor, of course, his father, Peter Taylor, played over 200 games as a legend for the Belconnen Football Club and a great contributor, now a board member of the GWS. So Isaac Taylor, he goes long, puts it up and under. Can we see another specky in the dying minutes? Down is punched away by the disciplined Swans defenders over there towards Lockyer, out towards the man who's been, I think, best on ground, Armstrong, over to Dick to Lockyer. Lockyer was tackled by Love there. I think it'll be a free kick against Jordan Lockyer. He had prior opportunity, you betcha. Johnny Love, can he kick Belconnen 7th? He's just got to go for broke here and try and make it under 50 points there, Drury.
Well, that's great umpiring, because I'm sure there's a lot of umpires who would have been tempted to call that high, but it was just a great tackle from Love. Went in hard, wrapped up the ball, moves in, and is it coming back? It's not. It won't even go the distance, and well marked. Well marked there by Alex Brown. You speak about Best. We've mentioned Armstrong, mentioned some others. Alex Brown has been phenomenal at the back for the Swans, and a nice, really good, rather defensive display overall by the Swans today.
They've been fantastic. Of course, the best player adjudged at field today is the recipient of the Alex Jezelenko medal. Who will it be? Drury, give me a couple of your best. Armstrong, we've spoken glowingly of his work today. Who else is up there as one of the contenders for the Alex Jezelenko medal?
Alex Brown, Dean Towers, Thomas Head, Matthew Dick's been involved. And you can never rule out Membre either.
Anyone for the Belconnen Magpies?
Look, I think, you know, certainly there's been some good performers there. Obviously, Shane Harris, he's kicked 4. He's taken his opportunities today. I think Bugsy Turnbull's been great for them. And guys like Simon Curtis, and even Hegarty. Hegarty's had a pretty good game for
That
mine.
he has, but right on cue is Membray. He gets a chance to add to his impressive tally today. 3 goals, 5 to Timmy Membray. He is certainly in the Ryan O'Keefe mould of this Swans football factory, isn't he?
Well, aren't they all, Dave?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a production line out there.
You could almost go out and say Dean Towers reminds you of Marty Mattner. This fella reminds you of Ryan O'Keefe. It's almost like they've got these little replicas they're producing. And that's Membray as he pushes that one wide. And he gets a minor score. So he's reversed his trend. 3 goals, 6 to Tim Membray today. He has had a poor return today. But it's just about out here over the Eastern Conference Final. Won't be a long quarter out towards Curtis, right on cue. He's been best for the losers today, out there towards Bunyan. They've really put up the fight today, the Magpies, not to be disgraced. Of course, club champions in season 2013. They can take a lot out of this year, don't worry about that. Of course, congratulations to the earlier winners today, the Rising Stars. The Ainsley Tricolours over the Tigers. They got the chocolates there. And in the Canberra Division 1, it was the Tricolours prevailing over the Belconnen Magpies. They were awarded as the premiers for 2013 in the Division 1. So congratulations to them. And it will be the Sydney Swans here in the NEAFL Eastern Conference Final. But it's out there towards Dick. He's been impressive with a quick handball away over there. I think it's to Lloyd Paris. Paris now on centre wing. He looks to go inboard there further towards that of Dick, who followed it up. And Dick put it inside the forward 50 as Head just struggles after the ball. He looks like he's out on his feet. Does Thomas Head out towards Matty Sharp, the boy from Benalla. He's hotly pursued now. He got to make the right decision. It was Lloyd and Turnbull out towards Jimmy Bennett, the Mulrooney medalist, of course, the newly crowned Mulrooney medalist, out there towards Curtis. Curtis hasn't stopped trying, but Ray, he's really put the screws on Harris after quarter time. Drury Forbes.
He certainly has. And Ray just going short as the Swans continue to kick it around. Paris has got the ball. Magpies getting a little tired, I think. It comes out to Xavier Richards. Umpire tells him to play on. Des on the mark. Richards goes short now to Jordan Lockyer. And Lockyer has a plethora of options. He chooses that of Lloyd Paris, who's picked up probably his 6th possession in 60 seconds. He goes short to Jaffa Williams, another one that should be considered today. One of the best for the Swans was Jaffa Williams. Now he kicks it forward, but unfortunately for him, he's going to pick out one of the Magpies players who has gone on to Jansen without mucking around. He's going to find Loken, and the big fella's got a mark.
And it's Loken with a rare mark inside the forward 50. He's going to unload from 50. Loken, can he finish off the season on a high? No, he can't. It was punched away there by Ray over towards Lockyer. He's been resolute in defence all day as Jordan Lockyer found that of Lloyd, but it's out towards Sharp. Sharp to Love. Love went one way, went the other way. He went backwards to Curtis. Curtis can pull the trigger on that one. No, he goes inside the forward 50, and a good grab in front of Spinks was Geordie Harper, one of their most improved youngsters, Jordan Harper. So they stand in good stead for season 2014, the Magpies Drury, with their youngsters that they've blooded in season 2013 with 11 local juniors in their Drury. That's an outstanding achievement.
Look, absolutely, the future is bright for Belconnen. They've had those few years of just rebuilding and regrouping, but I think the best is yet to come from this Belconnen side, that's for sure. And it's probably taken a while for them to adapt to Loken's coaching style. But they've certainly come on leaps and bounds this season. They had to beat Ainsley twice in this final series. They did that. They finished equal top of the table. And they certainly should be very proud of the season that they've achieved in 2013, the Belconnen Magpies.
Yes, spot on there, Drury Forbes. There's a rare mistake from the Swans defensive unit. Full credit must go to the Sydney Swans and Jared Croach and the development team down there, because they do a pair of work in producing AFL footballers, and that's what it's all about. So Collins was met solidly by the #1 in Timmy Membray, but there's a quick barrel out of the pack, and it's taken there by James Bennett. He's not stopped trying today, as James Bennett out there in the back half. He trusts in would-be 4 or 5 defenders. It's out there towards Des. Des now with a snap around the body. And it's only for 1 behind as umpire Rose O'Day sticks out the solitary finger. And it'll be brought in by by Armstrong. And Tony Armstrong, of course, he played a couple of finals games last year. Is he in the mix again? You betcha. Out there towards that of Browning and Brown, and it's punched away there by that of Porter. He gets the hands over to Bugsy Turnbull. Turnbull puts it over there towards Naismith. He's evaded a would-be tackler in Austin. Over there towards Al Brown, out towards Naismith. Naismith out to Paris. Paris inboard back to Alex Brown as they broke it open there with Geordie Weir now, and he gets a quick handball looking there for Paris. Paris runs inside the forward 50. He got a quick left foot to an unchecked, but there it is. There's the siren. North-Eastern Football League Conference Final. It is the Sydney Swans 15-11-101, Belconnen 6-13-49. So the Sydney Swans are the conference final winners for 2013. Drury, how did you see it?
Oh, congratulations to the Sydney Swans reserves. As you said, Eastern Conference Final champions. They'll go on to play the Brisbane Lions next week. Fantastic performance, particularly defensively from the Swans today. They only conceded 49 points, and there's certainly a full-quarter effort from the Swans. When Belconnen did challenge them, they didn't drop their head too much, and just clinical display, particularly with their short passes, their handballs, and I thought their attack on the ball was fantastic. Some good signs for the Swans was the performances today of some of those fringe players that are going to be considered for next week. Lewis Roberts-Thompson, Brandon Jacks, Rohan and Jed Lamb all had good games, particularly that of Tony Armstrong.
There you have it, so a good wrap up there. But for the losers, Belconnen, they can hold their head high in season 2013. They've done some wonderful things. Of course, they've bridged the gap from last time they played in Blacktown. 51 points the margin. It wasn't without effort, don't worry about that. The Magpies, they put on a brilliant show through season 2013. They've improved dramatically. So it was great to see the Swans senior players support their endeavours today here in the NEAFL program with Goods and Longmire and all these cohorts from the Sydney Football Club down here supporting local food.
They're a quality club, the Sydney Swans. You know, professionalism is their middle name, and certainly right from the bottom up in their hierarchy and their internal structures, the Sydney Swans, you can just see they've certainly got that culture, very professional culture in the bloods, and you can see that, and that's reflective of the football field. Belconnen Magpies, fantastic season. Congratulations to them on their 2013 efforts as well.
So that's just about the wrap up here from Kipax. Of course, the Sydney Swans, the Eastern Conference Final victors, go on to play another game against the Brisbane Lions in the NEAFL Grand Final. But Drury Forbes, it's been a pleasure calling the game with you. I'm Brett Davis, and on behalf of Andrew Barnes and Drury Forbes, we hope to see you again season 2014 through neafl.com.au.